Happy St. Patrick's Day to all displaced Irishmen from Australia to the United States, to Irishmen living in England. Because if that's one thing that Irishmen are good at is planting their seeds everywhere. I just want to let you know and thank you for all the great things you have bestowed on the world, and the rest of Europe thinks you're white trash. It's true. Nobody knows anything about Ireland and Europe. They know about as much about the Irish as they do about the fucking Ewoks. Well, there goes my monetization. What do you think that?
Uh-oh.
Did you lose weight? What the?
You lose now.
What's that?
And it looks like, oh, how much are we going to lose now?
Do you lose weight? No, I took my hoodie off. Yeah. Stick around.
You also got a haircut and beard cut. So.
I did get a haircut. Well, beard cut comes with it. I don't know what the fuck they're doing there. I don't trust Turks with fucking blades in my neck. I say, I want a haircut. Kind Mesa. Kind Mesa. Yes, I don't want a Turkish guy with a knife in my throat. And they asked why. I was like, because I'm racist. What other reason could it be?
That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me
Still pumps me up after all these years. Rockets live from the heart here. This is the badass YouTube broadcast, the original drama cast. This, Shot for the Point. Genie behind the glass. Genie.
Yeah. At Running Riot, surprise. I mean, you're now progressive.
Because Running Riot is a fucking left-wing kook. He probably thought that I was keeping women out of Shot from the Point. That dope. That's probably what he thought. Like, how come there's no women there? Even though this is like probably one of the most diverse shows in show history. The show's like as diverse as like the United States Army, for Christ's sakes. That's what it was. He's like, I bet he would never put a woman on there. And he's right, I wouldn't have. You have something on me. Well, guess what, Running Riot? The show's over. We got our first woman. I hope you're happy. One girl, that's all it took. And now we're winding down. What do you think of that, Running Riot? Yeah, she Kathleen Kennedy this fucking show. Thanks, Jeannie.
You're welcome. Yeah. That was the plan from the start.
I go around and thank all the producers when I finally have my last stream on here. And I won't thank you.
Aww.
Yeah, I won't thank you. I'll thank everybody but you. I won't thank Doc, not Doc on the radio. It'd be funny to thank Doc.
Yeah, you gotta clarify now.
It'd be kind of funny to thank Doc on the radio now. I'd like to thank Santa and Matt, and most of all, Doc on the radio. Yeah, Doc on the radio and his girlfriend. For all the support over the years. Oh man, I thought you were talking about Dr. Disrespect. I don't know why you don't go back that far, Winter Gaming. Well, it's almost over, Running Riot. We're almost done. It was a fun ride. And that's all she wrote. So I'm here to talk about we're here to talk about what's taken over this stupid politics. But before I do, you're probably wondering, y'all notice my haircut. You probably don't notice, like, you like this story.
Those battle scars.
Yeah, my battle scars.
Yeah.
I want to know in the chat, like, what you guys, what you think these battle scars are? Where do you think I got them? I'm just interested. List them in the chat. Let's see what happens here. Was it the Turks? No, it wasn't the Turks. You shave your unibrow. I do not have a unibrow. What am I, Italian? I think I'm just going to go be as racist as humanly possible on the way out. In the old school 90s, they used to call it comedy. Now it's called racism. Thanks to people like Running Riot. Yep. A lover's quarrel. I put my hands on my wife. Jesus Christ. For Christ's sake. Is it wife? That's interesting. That's where they go. Keemstar
and H3. The ghost of Bunny.
Bingo.
Did your barber slip?
It was my cat. That's why I say kind mesa. Yeah, it was Bunny, but it wasn't an attack. It's kind of a funny story. So I was up late. I went to bed with my wife, and then I laid there for about half an hour, and I couldn't sleep. So I came down here to watch TV and fuck off, maybe play a little DayZ. And Bunny comes strolling in here, and what she does is she goes up here, and then she lays on the rug, and then she goes, wah, wah, and these really wimpy meows. What it means is, I want to go to bed, and because she likes to sleep with it. So sometimes I ignore her, but I was like, I need to get up tomorrow morning. So I pick her up, I put her here, right on my shoulder, and her chin goes here, and I go to carry up the stairs. Now I have to turn the lights off with her. All the arcades, well, actually, I don't think I had to turn off the arcade, but normally that's what I have to do. And here's the thing, I've only lived here since late December.
Yeah, it was December, January.
Yeah, I've only lived here since late December. Like in my old place, I could clearly close my eyes, walk around the place, no problem. And I seem to have a particular amount of trouble when I'm actually in my bedroom. I don't know the distance between me and the bed and the pitch black. Also, my eyes are shit nowadays. So I don't know how to explain this. So I have her now. When I lay in the bed, I usually go right up to the post and I just kind of fall back, right? And I usually do that with her, so it's not like the first time it happened. The problem was, instead of being right next to the frame of the bed, I was a lot farther than I thought. So I went to fall back, and I guess she felt it because I felt it in that like 10th of a second. I thought, is my head going to hit the back of the bed, or am I actually completely missed? And because I'm in full fall at this much. So what the cat did is she did what you normally would do. She braced for impacts. So she didn't scratch me, so to speak, because she was like, we're falling. And it was right here. Now, it didn't really even hurt that much. She's hurt that. So I ended up falling like half, like legs half in and legs half on the bed. And then I was just like, oh, okay. I picked my legs up. And then she wasn't scared. She did her she circles like a dog and then curls into a ball and went all to sleep. And so I'm just laying there thinking. And then I feel a liquid on the end of my nose. And I'm like, oh, that feels like blood. It was because it wasn't water or anything. First thing I thought, it was some drip in this fucking house. Hey, Happy Patty's Day. Thanks, Patty. I appreciate you. Maybe I should go out after this. Fuck it. I'll never get in a bar this time. I don't know. Maybe I will. So I went in there, and sure enough, this is the weird part. I didn't see this one. I saw this one, and I saw this one over here. This one's almost gone. And mostly this one. So I did a press, and I got it out there, and I waited till I stopped bleeding, and then I went back to bed and went to sleep. But that's how I cut my face up. But it does look like I got in a fist fight a little bit. I mean, I've had fights and gotten, like, even though no one scratched me like a chick, but knuckles will do that to you if you do that hard enough. So that's how I got hurt. I guess the cat engraved a crucifix into you. Maybe we'll go out. It makes you look hard. And Rexon, thanks for being a member. 40 some odd months. 49. How much?
66.
How long are you? You're 49. She's 66. He's been around forever. Panic, all the guys have been around. Thanks, so Jeannie. Keep in mind, when I do end this thing, I do need your support going forward. I would appreciate it. I don't need it, but I mean, I could appreciate it. I'll tell you guys to unsub. I'll tell you when I'm not making content anymore, okay? I promise. I will put out a thing and say, pull. And then the other way to find out is the Patreons. You'll probably get whatever it does to shut down a Patreon, I'll do it. You know. So, all right, Wandering Doughboy wants to get to the topics. We got actually sort of a quasi news show for you today. My favorite ones to do.
Yeah, it's been a little amalgamation.
Amalgamation. They're kind of my faves. Let's get the live chat viewer rolling in here. Let's do that whole thing. I'll make that happen. I like this thing. It's neat. I don't like the fact that I have to restart it all the time. It's a pain in the ass, but hey. Okay. Let's see. Just make fun of stuff of saying it's over every 5 minutes. Fair enough, Lynn. I'll stop doing it. You know what? Last day is doing. I just, Lynn, I made a promise myself that I would knock that shit off, and I will knock that off. The problem is, Running Riot's like a longtime fan. He's been around. We've been through our sagas and stuff, and I know he hasn't been around in a while. Probably doesn't know all the stuff, so I felt a little obligated to talk to him. But I'm going to make that promise. I'm not going to say that every 5 minutes. So there you go. I apologize. Let's get into it. After flirting with the idea, it's looking like Keemstar H3 reunion might not be happening anytime soon. Ethan endorsed this message from his son Matt, looking back fondly at Keemstar saga. It's like remembering Bush fondly after experiencing Trump.
Yeah, there were some comments in the Reddit post as well. If you scroll down,
that's so funny. That's so funny. Some of the comments in the Reddit post: Keem is like a villain you defeat and then joins your party.
Listen,
yeah, like who does that? Magneto does that a lot. Beautiful analogy. It was kind of amazing. I really don't get it. Keemstar did a full campaign of harassment of Ethan Hale. I love how these people they live for these hit pieces, attack videos, expose videos. They live for it. This stuff. And every time somebody does it, if it's not on your team, it's harassment. Harassment's a crime. And if he fired, you want to be technical, he fired the first video. On the last show, Ethan said people change in reference to Keem calling Hill a horse face all the time. Well, fair enough. Apparently, Nick said he did that too. I don't remember him doing that. I'm one of the few people that didn't do that. I thought that was like a bridge too far. Although I don't think Ethan and Hila are the nicest people on earth. I think times like these, they start collecting allies. The only thing that changed was Keem losing the bulk of his audience, becoming a joke. Even after Hila talked about the sexism and harassment, Keem has never owned up to that. Oh, God, these people are insufferable. Boy, let's watch some H3 and have some fun. Let's talk about sexual harassment and sexism. And it's like, God, they're the most boring people on earth. I swear to God. Ugh, God. Or you take public steps to address behavior. How about this? How about none of that is anything you said, and they still don't like each other. It's just that he agrees with him on this particular topic. Is that possible? Or do we have to divide this into team stuff? There's literally no good reason whatsoever for Ethan to befriend Keemstar. It doesn't even have to be a friendship. You have to be friends to interview somebody. You have to, oh, God. I don't care if he goes on or not. I don't even fucking rat's ass to me. He was talking about how Nicholas Dioria mentioned he regrets going after Hila, not Keemstar. I don't remember. I must have totally missed. Well, I mean, he might have. I remember him laughing at the horse stuff. I'll do this right. I think this is the funniest shit ever, even though I'm completely on their side when it comes to Israel.
Is it the video?
Yeah, I love this. This is the funniest thing.
It's so good.
Oh, God. Hila Klein. I am completely on Klein IDF shit. Yeah, I have it automatically. This is the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. I love this. This is It's fucking hysterical. I'm sorry. Still golden. Stop horsing around. Exactly. I just remember that he was calling her a horse face. I do think that was out of line. I don't did I ever do that? I laughed at least doing that, calling her that. Balls
Kite says you did.
I did.
Well, he remembers you doing it. but I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even. I won't even be mad. Like, prove me wrong. I don't remember doing that. I remember thinking that's too far, or maybe I could see doing it like this if he had said something that doubled down on something stupid. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. She is a horse face. I could see doing that, but I can't imagine like. I never really liked that. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Yeah, but if you can find it, Hasan, guy, I'll play it right now. I'll expose myself. Right? Leafy doesn't look so good these days. Nah, he gained weight like the rest of us. You hit 25. That's when you first get your first influx. I wonder if that happens to women too, of weight. Because you really don't have to work out.
Well, if you just stick around for 2 years,
if you're not fat when you're a kid, you really don't have to work out until you're like 25 to keep it off. Unless you just have ridiculous metabolism. Keem is like the feeling. Yeah, that is pretty funny. I have to admit. Beautiful analogy. Yeah, it is a beautiful analogy. Let's see. I don't get this at all. That's the leftovers. See the backup stories in the Stark subreddit. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think the reason Keem's sticking up for Ethan is because these people are fucking terrorists. And I think the same people that, killed those people on October 7th is the same mindset. Let me finish. The same mindset that that led to 9/11. And I can't see Keem being anything other than horse with no name. Does that ring a bell?
Apparently you did that in her impression.
All right, send it to you. I want to see it. I honestly forgot, but I'll say I'm a hypocrite right now. I don't remember doing that. Did I make content or did I laugh at something? That's a little different.
No, I think you sang "The Horse with No Name" in Gila's voice.
I don't know. It's kind of a reference to the joke. It's not really calling her a horse face, but okay, I'll accept it. I've been through the desert with the horse with no name. And the name of Nada Gila. I haven't done that imitation. Somebody told me to do that imitation. I forgot how to do it. You'll know, Ethan. I've been to the desert with the horse with no name. Okay, I did do that. All right, fair enough. I would love to see that. Somebody find me that. I want to see it. I'm not trying to make friends with anybody anymore. I don't care if he likes me or not. It was pretty mean I did to do that. Why did I do that to her, though? But she never really... Oh, maybe she said something pissed me off.
I think I found it.
Send it. I'm dying to see this. It's okay. We've all done shit 5 years later. It's just blocked out of our memory. If I could stick up for myself, at very least, I was going on the meme. I was like, you'll never, that's a horse-based bitch, and she's no fucking, I guarantee I didn't do that. To be fair, you don't remember what you did last week. Thank you, Tommy, for being canceled. You're welcome. I'm canceled. No, we're going to find out. I do want to see this. I don't. Because I don't care. I could pretty much say what I want from now until the final stream or when we're only pulling fucking 50. I think some of you guys will stick around no matter what. Which is cool. It's nice to have, turn on a stream and have people be there. It's fucking awesome. I kind of forgot what that was like, and somebody shows up you don't know. It's like a amazing part. Somehow Vosh isn't involved. I think that was before Vosh. I think some people stick around. Do you remember the name of your son? Andy? Yeah. Do I remember all the names I gave my son? That's a better question. It's huge. No luck? I've been through the desert with the horse with no name. I don't know how you find that. Because I want to see what a slime ball I am. I know I'm pretty slimy. Denims claims she has a smoking cone Uno reverse card and Ether coming tomorrow. When was that? That was 2 days ago. All right. let me hear what this fucking genius.
About Ethan claims multiple claims against me, and
what claims? Multiple different? My favorite fucking. I hate when people say that. The justice, actual justice warrior says I have multiple different.
It's going to be a good stream. Tomorrow is going to be a very good stream.
It has been funny that everything that she has claimed has blown up in her face in the same stream. You don't even have to do videos on her. You just got to play her clips to find out she's wrong about something. You can go on to Love the Smoke. Agent, get in here. I want to know.
Okay. I don't wanna spoil too much, but whew.
I don't know. That wasn't in the list.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's juicy. It's juicy. It's really juicy.
Agent.
Because you have to understand for that.
Hey, I don't shout this guy out nearly enough as I should have. This is Agent EK 9000. He does a shit ton for this show, rain or shine, and you don't get enough compliments as far as like research and stuff. Okay, buddy. Send me as a panic pun. Demons, guys, I have footage of Ethan saying the N-word. Really? Imagine living in a world where uttering a word would like end everything else he said. What is it? What's her Erno reverse card, Agent?
Her Erno reverse card was showing her own chat and saying that she disavowed the calling of CPS.
Did she?
To my knowledge, yeah, she did kind of say like she doesn't really support that, but it was all
after
in her
airing
chat,
after entertaining the Empa Banana guy talking about his kids eating shit off the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah. She's dim. She doesn't sound dim. She speaks with like an authority about her. But she's like, I mean, I've seen it so many fucking times where she's made a claim and it's got that's it. Notice Ethan gets criticized by the far left. Probably doesn't move right. He's not a grifter. Respect. I noticed that myself running Riot. I think you're right. But I mean, I got to be honest with you. Some people that push to the right is honest. You start to realize that, see, here's the thing that liberals, I don't know, this is really going to piss people off. Good. Liberals believe they don't have the Ku Klux Klan and they don't have John Birch societies and they like to believe they don't have extremists. And they hate hearing that. And it makes them very, very uncomfortable. And what's truth is there's nobody in the KKK that's in the Republican Party with any power. There probably are people that are stone cold fucking communists that are in a Democratic Party that won't admit it. The extremism is a lot closer to Washington on the left than it is the right, and they fucking hate hearing that. But yes, I did notice that he didn't move. But I think people like, who's that guy in the Young Turks? He moved because he started thinking they're crazy. He started thinking they're the authoritarians. And the left likes to believe they don't have authoritarians on their side. They do. They also have failed governments in the past all around the world that were authoritarian, left-wing. A lot of liberals like to believe that it's only, the Nazis or Pinochet or something like that. When it really is, they have just as much blood in their hands as the Nazis do. It's true. There you go. So her Erno reverse card was, I disavowed it, even though I aired the thing. Everybody's got kooks in their end. It's that simple. I hate grifters. I like when people are more authentic, even if they disagree, which is why I always liked you. Well, fair enough. I always liked you in a weird way. I did tell you to kill yourself once, and I told you how to do it. But is that it? Is that that's what she got? This is going to be fantastic. She's going to fumble. So she must have fumbled because obviously she didn't remember she said it, and that. And I said last week, keep an eye on Bad Empanana. Keep an eye on that guy. I think there's something big coming down the pike there. This is interesting. Important. I've received a notice that my channel has been demonetized. Almost my entire income has just been wiped out. Well, you get your last chat. I am asking your help. If you appreciate what I do, what YouTube drama, and what most of these political commentators on both the left and the right do, YouTube drama, and want to support my channel, I probably never needed your support more. I have a Patreon account, which I've linked below. I think he'll probably get it back. I wonder who went after him. I'm a little confused by Nick's posting this, because here's the thing about this fucking guy, all right? His obsession with Destiny was so much that he was willing to shoehorn Turkey Tom and Nick DiOrio for being complicit for the Pixie situation, which they had absolutely nothing to do with. Nothing to do with. If anything, they showed more respect for Pixie than he did. while he was, virtue signaling. And then he turned around and told Pixie, well, I have to come out with this because she's trying to get money out of her, Destiny. And good. Why not? I guess Nick's doing this on principle, but I'm a little bit surprised because he totally doesn't deserve it. That being said, he shouldn't be taken down because of something he said. And I'm sure he didn't break any rules, so to speak. If I had to guess, somebody probably clipped him. I imagine Pixie's super fucking mad at him because she was trying to get a settlement before it got to this place, and he fucked it up. And he only did it for his own selfish reasons, President Sunday. And the whole thing, after the Pixie stuff came out, it was a bunch of left-wing commentators trying to shoo in all the commentators they hated to being a part of it. Well, I heard about the Pixie fucking thing. Was it third hand at that point? What could I have done? Nobody would have believed. That's another thing, too. If, let's say, nobody tried to shoehorn me into it, but if somebody did try to shoehorn me into it, if I came out and said, Destiny has pictures of this girl, right, in sex section, she's sharing it with other people, right? Nobody would have believed me. I might have been attacked by my own in that scenario. My own so-called allies, And nobody could have come out with that. And had I known she was trying to bilk Destiny out of money, I'd have been like, good. Diorio or another Nick? The only other Nick is Glory Hunter Nick. So, this is a good question. Watch this one.
Hey Dan, do you have any comment on why you won't let Ethan Klein stream on your platform?
He is streaming
the Hasan content nuke.
He is.
Why he got banned twice?
It got reversed.
It got reversed, but it was like it was not an automatic ban. Do you have any comment on that?
No comment.
No comment? All right, good to know. Appreciate it.
To me, that right there is proof of what I said. Enough for me. What did I call it last week, Jeannie? His banning? When he ran, I called it a test balloon, and it didn't float.
Yeah.
And that's why he won't comment, because they banned to see how the public would take it. They didn't fucking tolerate it. They put it back up. That's what all these social media companies do. If there's enough outrage, you can get people back up. I've seen it too many times. This guy is a Jew-hating maniac, if I had to guess. A maniac. If he said no comment instantly, it would have come off as so much more normal. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think he was. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of that. Like, why comment? Like, well, because he wanted to prove her wrong. Yo, he can still stream. That's good. But then when she asked details, no comment.
Mm-hmm.
He could have no comment.
I think he probably thought that he could talk his way out of it, and then realized, oh shit.
He couldn't. No comment. Yeah, that could have happened too. Like, oh, I should have just said no comment to begin with. Now I'll say no comment. Yeah, it could have been something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's back up. We never took him down. You're misspreading information. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you did. But it wasn't automated. Oh, no comment. That's what it sounds like. But I guess what you're.
Oh yeah.
No, he's not a CEO. He's an activist. I'm waiting for the day. I heard rumors. Take this for what it is. Total grain of salt. Long time ago. I mentioned it a few times on here. You have to be a really big fan. The Twitch's books don't look right. I always wondered that. I really wonder how much money they make. I think a bunch of activists just took the fucking thing over, slowly but surely, and they got total control, whether they're making money or not. I had somebody claim they saw their books, and I had no way to verify it, and they just didn't look right for the rest of Amazon. Who knows? They definitely remember the days of Ninja and Tfue and all those guys. It's not about gaming no more. They want Hasan front and center. Well, let's go through these. Now to Destiny. Destiny's affirmative defense from his court case with Pixie leaked an 11-page document. It didn't leak. It's probably public. For those who didn't know, that affirmative defense is a legal strategy where a defendant introduces new facts or evidence to negate criminal or civil liability. It is a proactive defense that acknowledges the plaintiff's claims, but argues that the defendant shouldn't be legally responsible. 10 pages. My bad. You want to read this shit?
Yeah, sure.
Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the meat. Go to, you want me to send you a tweet so it's easier for?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
I don't want to unfollow.
I'm going to pull it up on my other monitor. Oh, motherfucker.
No. You start with the numbers, I suppose. Let me send that to you. You're more than welcome to stage, and you're always a wealth of treasure trove of information. And I appreciate you. Don't think I don't.
Hashtag we love agent.
Yeah. Just take it from the deny. Let's see, nature of action deny, corresponding.
Deny. So defendant lacks knowledge. That one.
Yeah, start from there and then go on. Defendant lacks.
So number 6.
Yeah, start from 6.
Because it's a little bit. Okay.
So he's answered. Obviously, these are all right. Go ahead. Just do the ones that have actual sentence or paragraphs in them. That's the one I'm interested in.
Okay. Yeah. So the defendant lacks knowledge or information sufficient to admit or deny the allegation in this corresponding paragraph of the complaint, and on that basis denies the allegations. Admit except as to the misspelling of defendant's name. Then the next one,
9.
Number 9. Defendant lacks knowledge or information sufficient to admit or deny the allegation in this corresponding paragraph of the complaint, and on that basis denies the allegations. That's just a repetition of the number 6 for some reason.
Okay.
Then deny. Then this is just fucking okay. These are all just repetitions. So he's all these counts that he's saying it to.
Okay.
It's just
all right. He's answered one of those. This is pretty boring. You're right.
Except for some of them. There's number 15 says defendant notes that the plaintiff's online discussions about this dispute have publicized the existence of the video, leading to more views. That's number 15. Then it's just deny up until number 21, where it is a repetition again. So it's on the next one. It's a repetition again of the number, what was it called? Number 15, where it basically just says, defendant notes that plaintiff's online discussions about this dispute have publicized the existence of the video, leading to more views and further debate. Then it's a deny, defendant, it's that whole repetition stuff. Then when we go into count 1, violation of blah, 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 defendant adopts and restates the responses set forth in paragraphs 1 through 38 as though fully set forth herein. Then 41 is defendant lacks knowledge or information sufficient to admit or deny the allegation in this corresponding paragraph of the complaint, and on that basis denies the allegations. Count 2, which was the sexual cyber harassment, defendant adopts and restates the responses set forth in paragraphs 1 through 34 above as though fully set forth therein. 45, the corresponding paragraph of the complaint states a legal conclusion to which no response is required. So
that's something really interesting here. So it's probably just going to have to court before it gets mildly interesting. So he's denied the allegations. So basically putting the burden of proof on her, which pretty much was on her to begin with. They're going to say, my guess is they'll settle. When she gets the money she wants, she's going to settle. So there's no reason.
I don't think so.
Why is that?
She is very upset.
Still, shit. She just wants money. She's not fucking.
I agree with that.
Yeah, she's upset. I think she's more upset with President Sunday than anything else. I don't buy that. She wants money, and maybe she should get paid. It's like maybe she should get paid. I mean, I have literally the only reason I think she should get paid is because I think she's legitimately being violated. As far as her as a person, I think she's a dingbat bimbo who decided to fuck a guy who was openly a womanizer, openly talks about women like shit, and at the same time does the magical lefty trick of being a women's advocate. It's really amazing to me. And there is a certain, it's just like Ethan Klein hanging around a bunch of communists and then them turning on him because they were communists, never really liked Jews all that much. That amuses me in the same way this amuses me. You're around a guy pretending he's speaking out for women, fucking him, telling everybody else, you don't have to fuck Destiny to move up the left-wing ladder. Yeah, you do. Apparently, you did. And she got embarrassed, humiliated for it. And she's like, you know what? I need to be fucking paid for it. And I'm not. I don't like the outrage over this. Here's what's going to happen. Destiny's going to settle. It's going to go away, and he's going to slowly build back his empire. And a lot of it is some of his. And I'm not talking about Nick, by the way, because I think Nick's done a spectacular job. A lot of this shit, like the DGG refugees, they're just like he's still pulling 10K. Those guys are a bunch of fucking incels that aren't going to be taken seriously a year from now. And they're probably looking to build their own YouTube careers off the backs of this, right? And then we'll go in a different direction when it suits them, looks like every drama YouTuber does, because that's all politics are, drama YouTube. All of them, left and right wing. Look at that dipshit Fuentes. It's all the end of the day, it's all drama. So I don't feel bad for any of these people. He's going to settle out of court and then say, look, guys, she settled out of court. I win. Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do, Austin. That's exactly what he's going to do. By the way, Final Chicken, I saw you like, I thought you might be Salvo. I guess you're not, right? But I figured whether you're Salvo or not, and I'll play this too, because I usually ignore Salvo every chance I get. I figured he'd get the message. So Final Chicken made a comment, and I'll play my audio from this, about Salvo getting the deal, getting a bad shake from, I guess, some DM group that Nick was involved in. And I just found it odd, as I'm wrapping this project up, everybody's like, hey, like, come to me against Keemstar and come to me. And like, I don't want to know nothing about that. I don't care what fucking beef you have with Keemstar. It does not interest me. I got paid, and for the most part, I shut up. I only commented when I felt like it. But no, I know you're not Salvo. But I figured he'd get this message. If he doesn't, I'll probably get it now.
Isn't it funny when somebody has a breakup, everybody runs to me? This might be the cheesiest attempt at bait that I've ever come across.
I wish I could make it louder.
And, no, I don't care. You're absolutely right. I don't care. I don't even care if they're talking shit about me. Everybody talks shit about everybody once in a while. And considering that this is really the death circle for my online life, I could care even less now.
Colin McGuire, Aaron Goba. Now Sloan laugh, bitch.
Now let's pretend for a second it's 2018 and people really gave a shit about you getting the platform.
I can't even hear it. I don't care. So basically what I said was, fuck Salvo. He tried to ruin the career of Nick and Augie. He doxed Nick repeatedly. And even if it's like 100% true, and maybe it is, and I don't remember that, and that Nick got his fucking channel taken away, and I may have heard all the details. It's sort of like the Elon Klein horse that I just don't fucking remember. I don't fucking care, because he was trying to do it to him, so he got before he got. So what do I care? I don't care. And see me in that group. I stopped going to those groups years ago, when I had my run with the NCO, years ago. I do not care. I don't care. Salvo thought he could be Red Bar and burn every comedic bridge he had, right? Red Bar is unique entertainer. Extremely. The fact that he can lock himself behind a paywall, attract new fans, have his own freaking studio, say whatever the fuck he likes, stream or go on the radio for hours, is unique to him. Amazing. Impressed. Blown away. I'll be perfectly honest, I don't get Red Bar. It's not that I dislike any of his content. When I listen to Red Bar, I'm like, I don't want to sound like an old retard here, but I don't get the joke. But he is beloved, like a creator, and he's behind a goddamn paywall. And he grows. It's amazing. Salvo ain't Red Bar. That's one thing I know. So he was going to eventually get around Dead Chicken to fucking me over. And if you remember how he came after me, like, you didn't report that Turkey Tom got cucked. Wait a minute. I didn't report that Turkey Tom had a ugly breakup with his girlfriend, somebody who I do consider to be a friend, even though I don't talk to him much anymore. But I mean, he's a kid. What do you want to hang out with a damn near 50-year-old guy? I don't know why he'd want to do that. And I didn't blast it out all over the place. I'm totally against doing stuff like that, especially to your friends. I have history with it because I backed out of the whole Kraut and T thing. I said, look, I'm connected to Kraut, and I'm not going to fucking jump on the bandwagon, even though Kraut was wrong about a lot of shit and did a lot of shady shit. And I'm still friends with him. I'm glad I am. So I wasn't going to throw Tom under the bus, and he tried to forcibly come after me, and it didn't work. He just burned every fucking bridge he ever had. Salvo was super fucking talented and pissed it all down the toilet thinking he was Red Bar and thinking that YouTube, same thing would work on YouTube. Like probably the same way, probably a little like me, thinking being Howard Stern or some kind of composite of Howard Stern would get him over the top and make him real rich and famous. Well, guess what? I guess Red Bar doesn't work either. Red Bar works for Red Bar. You know? The joke is everyone sucks and everything is lame. Red Bar. Yeah, I guess. I in fairness to him, it's not much better than what I do. But I don't get it. It's like streaming for 9 hours straight and holding fucking over 1,000 people. I can't do it. Obviously, I'm not good enough. I can only take your hat off. Say, damn, that's pretty good. I can't do that. I don't have that much to say. I don't have a big mouth. So yeah, fuck Salvo. He wanted to fuck absolutely everybody over that he was around, and he ended up getting fucked over himself. In fact, I think he is one of the reasons why people don't give a shit anymore about like strikes and stuff like that. That used to be something the community really, like the fans, and I think they still do to some extent. But Salvo, he doxed me. He did this. He was constantly fucking pulling some kind of victim card to ruin other people instead of just being funny and doing what he did. Everything had to be a fight drama because it's the easiest way to move up. Let's be honest. You pretend you're buddies with somebody. I said this a million times. Keemstar taught me. You fucking collab. Somebody lights a spark. You create drama with that person, but make it look like the other guy started it. Or at least have the fan base to do it, and then you collect their fans. That's the way it works. It's the way it's always worked. And I'm one of the few people that never did that on offense. Red Bar's a hack. I don't know if he's a hack or not. Are Salvo and Salvo two different people? I'm lost in names. Nah, Salvo's you haven't been around now. I think you're Wacky Klein. You've been only around since my lolcow days, right? Man. So yeah, that's what Salvo did himself. He was childhood friends with Logan and Jake Paul. I don't know what he fucked up there. Moved down the commentary, looked like he could really build somebody. Everybody's really impressed with him, right? Keemstar snatched him up because he had the talent, and it turns out the guy was actually fucking insane and looking to fuck over everybody, and he wasn't really quiet about it. He was like, it was like on the surface. Until, everybody realized he's kind of a degenerate and they just lost interest in him. And then, I guess getting kicked off of every fucking platform. He's the only one that can hold a platform. Yeah, and I guess he can blame everybody else. So that's my thing on Salvo. I was nothing but fucking nice to him. And he even tried to I should release that. I still have that stream that he called into, that gaming stream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I still have it somewhere. I should, but when he came in all forcefully, I'll release that before I leave. Oh, you've been around since Payment or Observer. Well, thank you. Wacky Clown. I appreciate it. Maybe we get some big influx in here. I'll stay. All right. Let's see. Mudahar. Oh, this is great. I got to give Mudahar credit. Mudahar offers to pay an entire trip to Palestine with Hasan so they can do, quote, journalism. It comes after Hasan questioned his genocide stance. Never seen this guy do anything of substance. On my own dime, I will fly both of us down to Israel and drive across the border. Really? That's balls if he's true. I got to give Mudahar all the credit in the world. And he's not my favorite person to lay. And I think he's one of these guys that had me around for whatever reason. He's a good company, though. But that's amazing if that's true. Let's turn the volume up on this fucker a little bit. There we go. Let's go.
Dipshit. Bro, I love how this guy calls me like a drama slop guy just because I don't agree with this fucking cosplaying dipshit. But it's like,
well, I find it funny that you called everybody
bro,
else.
I fucking cannot stand.
I find it funny that you were like totally dipping your hands in the drama slot stuff, and when you got in a little bit of fucking trouble through your own actions, you threw the rest of us under the bus.
And this is on too, dude. I mean, I might like. How is it that I get called a drama slob, dude, and this fucking fuckbag is already like posting his like centrist slop tubers are turning everything into drama on his like, I guess
it's all drama. All politics are drama.
It's his archive channel.
How long do I go back? Adrian, I don't know how many years you've been watching. I used to call drama the politics. I didn't like that name for it back in 2016, but I called it even back then the politics of YouTube. It's drama. And most of these, Destiny included, Chud, I mean, although he's straight up honest with it, they're all drama tubers. Some of them think they're like political masterminds, but none of them really are.
It is what it is. What a fucking actual loser, dude. Hasan is hands down. Like, there's like a fucking, it's a 40-minute video of this fucking mongoloid crashing out on me. Just because I don't agree with the fact that you endorse actual violent terrorism? This is what I hate about this fucking roach fuck so much. You disagree with his violent
Boy, I like this Mudahar.
rhetoric, you're immediately like the supporter of like a genocide. Like, I have never once backed anything like that. I have never backed genocide. I want to be on. I want to just keep it up front and clear, okay? I have never backed the fucking Palestinian genocide, okay? I'm not a fucking Israeli person. Doesn't really.
It isn't a genocide, but okay, we can disagree on that.
Matter, okay? I'm not some supporter over there. It is what it is. Simple as that, okay? Like, just because I don't agree with this fucking douchebag and his like extremism takes, it doesn't mean that I'm immediately on the other side. And like, no, this is.
And you know what the funny fucking thing about this? His wife told me that he's a religious Muslim. I have no, like, it was a private conversation, so I have no reason not to believe her. It was nothing that had anything to do with anything drama related or anything. It's like, because I was like, Mudahar's religious? And she says, yeah, she really is. And it's like, he doesn't make you go? Nope. I go, you're shitting me. No, he's a religious guy. So this is a guy that actually did the Hajj, crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's with being a Muslim, doesn't believe in violence, kind of Muslim we want. And how much you want to bet that commie thinks he's above religion?
Yeah.
Now, I don't engage religion for my own fucking personal reasons. It has nothing to do with my politics. But these Marxists don't because of their politics. They're because they worship the state. But it is really interesting for a guy, from an actual Muslim that actually practices, is somehow a fucking traitor. Yeah, you're a traitor. If you're a traitor to the left, you're a traitor to everything.
What I fucking hate in the comments too is like, Muda, why are you looking at drama? Did I start it? This guy is sharing fucking like an actual video of me where it's like, this YouTuber backed the genocide. My face is in a thumbnail. Like, at some point, who starts it? Is it me or is it this guy? Like, I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm sorry. If you were being fucking if you were being fucking shown on the internet and somebody said you supported genocide, is it drama to fucking defend yourself? No, I don't fucking think so whatsoever.
Yes, I joined at 27.
Okay.
There's your question. What do
Listen,
you want to know?
He's like, you defended Asmongold. I didn't, okay? If anything, yes, I probably looked at Asmon's take at the time months ago and tried to like respond, and that was pretty much it. And like, I still didn't, like, I watched my old videos. I get gaslit into thinking that somehow I defend Asmongold. I watch my old content. Never once have I defended Asmongold. Never once have I actually fucking sat there and defended a genocide of people. Never once have I done it. And he sits there. The only thing that I've ever said, this situation is very complicated. It's been happening. He's like, he tweeted yesterday at me too. It's like after I fucking like called it bullshit out for promoting this in the first place. He's like, Muda, a year into the genocide has been happening. How much of a cosplayer is this fucking roach? He's going to say a year into the genocide?
He's not even a practicing Muslim. That's the best part.
Bro, a year into the genocide? Brother, if you actually gave a shit about those people, you wouldn't say a year into the genocide. Let me give you a little historical context here, okay? The Palestinian genocide has been happening since before our parents went into puberty, dumbass, okay? It's been going on for fucking decades.
Or as I like to say, they've been killing each other for decades. And it's actually, I think it's more than 100 years.
So I don't want to fucking hear this from like the Hasan and the fucking crazy leftist community, okay? I'm sorry to say, this is my last take on this.
We'll see.
This guy is an actual...
And this is the last stream.
unironic fucking like roach, a scumbag, grifting fuck. And like to say that, but Muda, you got ad revenue.
It's like some commie telling you being Catholic. I know.
You on this. Bro, you have been grifting off of dead fucking Palestinian kids for a year and a half through your Twitch channel. So I don't want to fucking hear about like, I can't believe you made a video and like fucking you got 1 million viewers, okay, wow. I made a video teaching people how to install fucking Arch Linux that got 1 million viewers, okay? I don't need the fucking dead children to fucking grift off of.
He's right about that. That's the mode I like. That's the guy. I don't know. See, here's what happened to Muda. Who was that guy that he was running with? The anime guy, Nux. He, and by the way, Oompaville is the same way, did not have the balls to say, that guy's watching some creepy shit. I want nothing to fucking do with it. That's what happened. And he probably thought, well, I guess I watch anime too. He should have went right back to fucking art and said, this thing can't happen. It's not going to work. And he didn't. And he covered for it ever since. That's what happened to Muda. He tried covering for it. He got caught saying things that didn't, two different things that depended on who he's talking to. He got caught lying to Chud. He didn't have to do any of that. I shouldn't, like, if he never went on Chud and never said anything, he probably would have been in the exact same position as Oompaville is. Nobody gives a shit what that guy thinks. They just like him because he's a great YouTuber.
I'm like some right-wing, like fucking neo-Nazi person. Fuck you, dude. This guy cost.
Oh, your wife does have blonde hair.
Plays like being a Muslim, bro. You walk out anywhere with Hasan, he gets to be white. Okay, I can't. Unlike you, Hasan, I can't.
I love this Buddha. Gotta be honest with you. I don't care if he looks at fucking weird anime. That's awesome. That's awesome. Because that's the truth. That is the truth. He could say he's Italian. He could say he's Hispanic. He could say he's half Turkish. Muda gets the fucking bigotry, bang, right on. I've seen it in my own community, to be honest with you. Nothing I promote, by the way. I got my issues with Muda because he was perfectly willing to throw me straight under the fucking bus, if need be, over Mama Max.
Turn off my skin color, dude. I'm sorry. I have to deal with it everywhere I go, all right? I'm sorry, brother. Like, it is.
You know those old videos of him on the Young Turks? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when he was like all broed out. It looked like a fucking college white
like
boy.
the college
White
thing.
boy. Jesus Christ. If I grew a beard out and what have you, I told you, yeah, me and him are brothers. You probably wouldn't even tell. Oh, are you? That's weird. You don't look too much alike. Sometimes brothers don't look alike.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Fucking white savior fucking complex, dude. Every time, dude.
Oh! Oh! It is a white savior complex, white boy. Turkey is technically in Europe. Turks don't get to pull the minority card, not in Moodystown. Ow! Ow!
Like fucking white guy telling me how to feel. It's a fucking. This is why I hate why I hate any of these people, dude.
I hate anybody telling me to get regardless of skin color personally, but it must be infuriating when it's a white guy. Yeah, I guess I'm with you on this one.
It's always insane. Anyways, I don't want to like drag down the stream too much. Rainbow Six.
It's the best stream you had in months.
I just keep seeing like some of these comments throughout it. I feel like
I want God, Agent. I got a mission for you. I want Hasan reacting to that. If he does, if White Boy's got the balls.
Some probably didn't.
I feel like it's
Sorry, bro, you ain't brown enough to roll in these parts. That's not what I'm saying, but it does. Look, I'm not saying that. I want to make this clear. I don't think he's. I think he's whatever the fuck he wants to be. I mean, if you're, I don't know. Turks don't consider themselves white. I don't think. All right, and that's fine with me. I don't give a flying fuck. Right, but it does. I know what he's talking about. It is like some fucking old whitey Karen telling you how to feel about things. This is the way you should feel, and this is the way you should vote, and this. Yeah, fuck you. How about that? Well, you're brown because you should feel this way. No, I don't. You know, I have somebody used to do this to me. He's like, because I'm a big fan of George Carlin, and I'm pretty much have most of his politics, or eventually adopted them. Even the ones I disagreed with when I was younger, I've kind of come around and adopted them. I'd have somebody in my life say, "Well, George Carlin says." Well, I don't have to agree with absolutely everything George Carlin says. Or if you're like a Democrat or something, well, Chuck Schumer says, well, I disagree with Chuck Schumer. Go fuck Chuck Schumer. You know, fuck Donald Trump on that. Donald Trump, you're a Lord and Savior. Donald Trump said, I don't care. Somebody asked me, well, Trump wants to, DM King. Well, he didn't actually do it this way, so I don't want to put him in that box. But, Trump wants to have a constitutional amendment on term limits for presidents. I am 100% against that. And I am against him on that issue if that's the case. We don't have enough term limits for all of them. Mm-hmm. Trump should be out in 4 fucking years. Anything else, I won't be around then, but anything else, I'm 100% against it.
Best if I just get like a quick little thing in the stream out, because unless he keeps like constantly pushing, which I know he will, because Hasan needs drama, because Hasan is a drama frog as much as he doesn't want to fucking admit it. That's all he is. Hasan is effectively Keemstar for leftists. Okay, drama.
I love this. He's getting them in every count. Bring it.
Alert for leftists. Keem is much more respectable in that regard because at least he knows he's like a fucking drama frog. This guy tries to be a scumbag about it.
Most of these guys do. Most of these guys see themselves as some kind of. It's almost like they used to say that the politics guys went into sports because they couldn't break it into politics. Now it's drama guys.
He will push it, and at some point maybe I'll probably like end up making like a short video to it. Honestly, like covering anything this guy related is annoying. It's you lose subs, you lose your followers, you fucking get brigaded on like Reddit boards on places all the time. It's not economically viable for me to do this, but at some point, like I do have to defend myself a little bit against blatant
call him a white boy, please.
Slander. Like I'm sorry to say, it's fucking annoying when people say that you're a genocide supporter when I've never done that. Okay, like I've never done that.
Actually, I'll say this, Muda, even though you did me dirty. I have never ever seen any type of extremism from you on either wing. None. Zero zip. I think, first and foremost, you protect your ass. But in fairness to you, that's 99.9% of people out there. Most people collab on YouTube because it's beneficial to them. It's not because they're friends. The only people that want to believe that shit are the fans. And they're not. Everybody sees everybody else as a threat. Everybody sees, everybody wants another person to be gone eventually. Especially in drama, and even more so in political YouTube and political Twitch. If Hasan mentions
he unfortunately did not react.
Well, here's what Nick says: if Hasan mentions Nux, Muda would wither into dust and blow away in the wind. Yeah, that seems to be his. Yeah, Nick told me that privately too. That it's tough to support Muda because this could change in a finger snap if his fans turn on him. But maybe he's sick of hearing that. Maybe he's gonna knuckle up. I don't know. I'll support it. Whatever that's worth. It ain't worth shit no more. But whatever it's worth, I support it. This is fucking awesome, by the way. This is what I want. This is what I want YouTube drama to be. This.
Chat. This is a Hasan stream now, boys. Yo. Chat. Chat, this is a Hasan. Yo, what's up, chat? Holy. Chat, let me tell you about Palestine. Hold on a minute. Holy shit! Oh, damn, son!
Making himself laugh.
How do you not when you look like that?
Holy shit!
True.
Chat.
That's too funny. Too funny. Uh-oh. Look out, flamenco. Fucking lyrics, for that matter. Texas senators have unanimously passed a bill that, if signed into law, could make several games, anime, and magazines illegal to own in the state. The bill bans obscene a depiction. Then we got thrown out of fucking Supreme Court. Can't believe I'm giving XQC a W. Anyway, here's your shout out, you Irish prick. Thank you, Buckus. Maybe I will go
It's
out.
your stout fund.
Yeah. You know what? The bars are probably open all night, too. Who knows? Yeah, I think I'll go buy a stout on you. How about that? Super. Get some hookers and cocaine. Yeah. I don't think the upset, like, it was argued by the right in the 80s that obscene things are not protected under the First Amendment. I think the court's spoken out on this, so I really don't know. What I think should happen is I'd like to see some legislation, but then again, it gets into judging the content. I think if you're drawing kids fucking, you probably should go to jail. All right? And I don't think the problem is you get government judging whether they're fucking kids or not. You know, I look, I don't think anybody should go to jail for American Pie, right? But some of this anime stuff is just a substitute for child pornography. I don't know what's going to get games and stuff like that banned. If they don't show any kind of sex act, I don't know why they should be, and I think it's protected by the First Amendment. I do. But yeah, I don't think this obscene thing, this won't stand in. I don't think the Supreme Court will go for it. But I would like to see the court rule on anime as far as manga or hentai or whatever the fuck this shit's called, which I'm not super familiar with, to be honest with you. But I think when you show sex acts depicted by children, I do not personally think that's protected by the First Amendment. And I would like the Supreme Court to rule directly on that. Because I don't think there's a real clear-cut case. And I remember when I was debating, if you want to call it that, I was just trying to make them freak out. Who was that idiot I debated like 6 years ago? Mumkey Jones' old friend? What's his name? Brony boy. Digibro, right? Really, it wasn't a fair debate. It was totally bad faith on my part. I just wanted the guy to freak out, and I succeeded. Ask the guys on Kiwi Farms. They agree with me. But I do believe that I think there was a case that he mentioned that got thrown out. They arrested the guy and they threw it out under First Amendment. So I really don't know personally what constitutes. Me personally, any sex act depicted in any kind of animation or drawing, I think that falls under CP, personally. And I would like to see the courts decide in the United States. Me personally. I think that would be great. That would be totally based, right? I don't care if you wanted to draw two adults fucking or anything like that. I don't care. I don't care about pornography. It's not of interest to me. I think pornography goes on. I want to see people going to jail for pornography. But I think if you're doing that, it's got to go. And I am really uncomfortable with the government deciding what's obscene and what's not. Obscene is too general. Children's sex acts is real clear fucking cut. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me, a 2 if you're not with me for whatever reason. Because I want to see where I stand on that. He goes by Trixie now. Did he really call himself Trixie? That's the way I am. Kids, sex acts, CP. Which probably means you're going to have to tolerate, I guess, well, I mean, how many movies have we seen where teenagers are dressed sexy for whatever role or what have you? Or adults pretending to be in high school. We've seen that a million times in a million movies. Yeah, I mean, we put everybody in jail?
I mean, like even just putting into perspective, like Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita. Like you ban the book Lolita. Isn't that like a big fucking Russian work of art? And it's about a guy who falls in love and uses a sex slave, an underage girl. Correct? Isn't that considered like literary genius in your circles? Yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah, yes and no. Like the style itself, yes. The topic most people don't really like.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is where the term like lolly comes from, basically.
Oh,
It's the
Lolita.
Lolita.
Gotcha. Yeah. Lolicon. See, I'm not going to do the tipster thing because I don't know exactly a thing. How hentai works. I'm not going to pretend to be an anime expert. I find it fucking weird. I think it's something that used to be kind of cool that fucking creeps ruined. I thought it was just like, I just thought it was like Japanese superheroes and shit. And then it turned into something fucking else. But I think it's real. So instead of obscene, instead of trying to ban anime, kids depicted in sex acts is a crime. Problem solved. Doesn't matter what style you draw it in. I'm okay with that. I personally don't believe that's protected. Unless you can make some kind of fucking legal argument to convince me that that is protected expression. Because, one thing you got to do is you don't get to pick the, you have freedom of speech and freedom of expression. You have to allow the racists and the creeps and the commies and the Nazis have their piece too. So there may be some stuff by that definition that slips through the crack that you personally find degenerate, that you personally find disgusting. But it doesn't get all the fucking creeps. But, we do have, I don't want any ruling against anime to affect my personal free speech. I think that's fair. Okay, is this me, her calling? Okay, here we go. This is me proof.
First two.
How come this is
I find that so weird. And for somebody who's been, look, I think the Leafy H3 thing, I've even fucking said maybe the horse, I know engaged in that, maybe going too far. And she's a public figure, so she gets what she gets. Here's the problem, folks. Remember this. Kids, I want you to remember this. When you're a goofball like me, no one will ever take you fucking seriously. So here's what I'm going to do. Shh, come here, close. I'm going to try to be a human being for a change. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. And no matter how much you talk about horse face sucking off the gnome, I'm going to let it roll off my back and continue my narrative, okay? So don't end up like me, YouTuber. Be like Alex, a total fucking phony, and fuck over your friends.
All right. Okay, wait a minute. This kind of
You
proves
called her horse face right there.
Yeah, but listen, here's what else I said. I really haven't changed that much. Hold on a second.
It refers to.
Also, fuck high as a kite for that title.
Yeah, you got to live that.
Fuck you, high as a kite.
I find that so weird. And for somebody who's been, look, I think the Leafy H3 thing, I've even fucking said maybe the horse, I know engaged in that.
Yeah, I didn't, first of all, I didn't speak good English right there. It's me. I said the horse and saying that's going too far, which is what I said earlier in the show. Listen to me again.
And for somebody who's...
This is not me engaging in the meme. I think I eventually did with the horse with no name thing.
But look, I think the Leafy H3 thing, I've even fucking said maybe the horse, I know engaged in that.
I have no engaged in that. That's great English. I have not engaged with it, which is clearly what I meant.
Maybe going too far.
Maybe going too far.
And she's a public figure, so she gets what she gets. Here's the problem, folks. Remember this. Kids, I want you to remember this. When you're a goofball like me, no one will ever take you fucking seriously. So here's what I'm going to do. Shh, come here, close. I'm going to try to be a human being for a change. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. And no matter how much you talk about horse face sucking off the gnome.
That's not me calling her out or calling her a horse face on either of the two examples. So I'm half right. Now, I seem to remember I've been through the desert with the horse with no name. I do remember saying that. But it wasn't a big part of my thing. I don't think it was. I think it's kind of reproved me right. Remember, kids, don't be from Jersey or other people think you're crazy. No. New Jersey retardation. Yeah, that's probably what it was. But no, it's am I wrong, Jeannie? That's me pretty much repeating my position.
If you could go back a little bit, that might be a little bit more helpful.
Okay, I'll listen to it again.
But, okay, let me.
Right, here we go.
Let me hear it one more
Here we
time.
go.
I find that so weird, and for somebody who's been look, I think the Leafy H3 thing. I've even fucking said maybe the horse. I know engaged in that.
I cut myself. What is it? I was getting ahead of myself.
I think you might. Yeah, you might have. I don't know because you said I took that first part to be. I know I engaged in that as.
Hold on a second. Well, that's
for somebody who's been. Look. I think the Leafy H3 thing. I've even fucking said maybe the horse. I know engaged in that. Maybe going too far.
I think that's. I know I engaged in that.
I know I engaged in that. Okay.
Leafy H3.
Yeah, but I do think it was going too far. I don't think I did it hard like those guys did.
No. That's what you're saying. Like,
yeah, if I did do it, I think
you mentioned before.
But I don't remember Matt. I don't remember Nick coming on my show and doing that. We were good back then. Sweepy C. I'm sweeping for myself. I don't think I did. Have I said it? Did I? I know I laughed. I never said I didn't laugh at people doing it, but I don't think I went too hard on it.
No, you didn't.
Engaged in the meme, yeah, I did. But I never, you never find anything in me saying, this I'm sure of. She's no fucking good. She's a horse-faced bitch. I never did any of that shit. None of it.
No, but I don't think anybody's saying you did that.
I did laugh at other people doing it.
Yeah.
I did. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. She didn't deserve that. At least I don't remember her doing that. I think I was more or less saying, like, look, once you're going to be called, like, especially if you're a woman, you're going to be getting shit by some kind of, whether you have a droopy left titty or what.
Well, what was it? Fucking Menon said earlier. Said just press on the right titty to pump up the left one and even it out. Like, goddamn.
I don't remember saying that because I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way about her now. I can't imagine feeling about the way about her then. But I did laugh at other people, though, to be honest with you. Yeah, women aren't real. Yeah, so
Wookie C. Oh my god.
I like this. This is my favorite right here. The face is brilliant. Actually, I'm shocked their marriage is still together, man. After all the bullshit they put up with. Hilla she wasn't that nice to me. I ever tell you that? Did you ever heard my Hilla story when we did the baited thing?
I don't think I have, no.
It's so funny. So we interviewed H3 on Baited, right? Mm-hmm. And we took a break because it was basically those two.
Give us the full face. Give us your full face.
Let's do this. Yeah, let's put our face on here. So basically, yeah, they're doing a Baited thing because we're going after Leafy. They're using us. We're using them for the whole Baited thing, and that's the most gayest vape. Yeah, you should have said that 2 months ago when I first started smoking them, or 3 months ago. So we're sitting there, and we did this long thing, and I noticed H3 was on his best behavior because I called him out on the Tommy NC sort of duality, and I mentioned that I think you're kind of using that. Thanks, Mike Hunt. Little cartoon by Seven Soft. Thanks so much, Mike. So let me get my focus. So we're sitting there, and we took a break at one point, right? And Clown got up and he left. I remember. And then all of a sudden, I heard her in the background. Keemstar, I want to talk to you. Listen, I'm really glad that you have changed your mind on Leafy, but you, I forget exactly what she said. You are out of control for a long time, very long time. I mean, you are very, very crazy. She said something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was lecturing Keem, and you could feel the fucking tension of her coming in there. And she came in there like a mom, Yeah, you were saying some crazy, mean things over and over again, and none of them were true. And then she would back it up by saying, but I'm really glad you feel the way you do now, right? And it's like they don't like each other, and they never did. And the only reason they were with each other because they both had a common enemy in Leafy. And that's all this shit is. How many times have you seen this in this community? Hundreds. And that's all that was going on back then. But listening to her lecture him, and you could feel, even though he didn't say a word, like he was probably hitting play and screaming at the top of his lungs. And she went on, and you know, Keemstar, I'm just glad you have changed. Why is it Hispanic in your story? Because that's the way she sounds to me. I'm glad you changed, but you are so out of control. This is good, but you are so out of control. And that's the way she was. Well, it was so fucking funny. It was. Okay, I was literally. I actually hit mute to scream at the top of my lungs. It was so funny, and it was like because we took a 15-minute break. I'd say 12 of those 15 minutes, she just kept repeating herself over and over and over and over and over again, lecturing him. It was the funny Cholo Hilla. Yeah, that's my key. That's ever. I thought you guys liked my Hilla voice. Actually. The star ass kisser, star fucker, whatever his name is, he actually stuck out for me and told Ethan that he only makes fun of Gila's accent, that I wasn't very problematic. All right, this is your part.
Okay, buddy.
Let's see, Kaiser Source, a little something for you in the particle. Thanks so much, I appreciate it.
It was something brought up to me by Winter. So
what do we
he
got?
found this.
What do we got? Winter got something?
Well, no. That's what this stuff is.
Oh, Winter brought this up. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can't. We're doing his shit. Oh, it's gonna be a disaster. All right. Where do we start?
Start at 45:55.
45:52. And who are these people?
The one on the left is your lovely Rosanna Pansino.
Rosanna Pansino.
Girl who smoked her dad's ashes.
Smoked her dad's ashes.
And from what I can gather, the
That's
guy
a gay man.
on the right. Yeah.
Yeah, who is that?
Well, it's one of her friends. I've heard like it's her boyfriend, which I'm like, no, there's no fucking way. So it just seems to be a bit of a guest. He's replacing someone who's usually on there.
Okay.
Thanks for asking, Brooke.
I do have photos and I do have videos and I have evidence.
I think I do have some photos actually. And so then the camera guy walks away and now I'm just in this freezer.
Who are these bibbos?
So on the Tana Moja. This is Tana Moja's podcast.
Okay, so Tana is the ridiculous. Okay.
So the camera guy walks away and that means your scene's done, you can leave. So she chose to hang out in the freezer with the actor. I had the same choice. And again, she reiterates the lie again that she is locked in there and can't move, like she's trapped. And that was not the case. That is a blatant lie.
Chained to the ceiling
with
a man
You were not.
in a horror mask, right? And he starts talking to me and he's like, hey, I'm JJ. And I'm all, hey. Hi, JJ.
Tana Mojo she looks like an old French broad now.
Tana, like literally chained to the ceiling. I'm like, this is fucking kind of creepy. Like,
so she again is saying I was chained in there, I was trapped in there. She wasn't. She says this like a dozen times. She can literally just go like this, and then all of her problems
you have
go
to
away.
you just let go. That's how you get out.
No one chained her to a ceiling.
No, fact.
now there's no cameras. Like the set, it was huge down there as well. So like the nearest people were like 25, 30 feet away, whatever, right? And this man looks...
In this video, she says they were 25, 30 feet away. In her...
I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, though. That's the problem I'm having here. Like, what happened? Like, what's the context?
They were in this video together.
Yeah.
And that's what... So
so their fight, they did a video together, and now Rosanna's playing the drama game. Is that what you're saying?
They were on a video together, yeah.
Recent video, like, I think it's episode 110. She says
just to illustrate where Rosanna is at now. This is her podcast, the one where she smoked her dad's ashes on.
Yeah.
And
it was Escape the Night. That's what they were on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how old is Rosanna Pansino? She's in her 40s, right?
38,
38?
if I remember correctly.
She's like shorter than you, you know?
39 now. 39.
Yeah.
She'll
I
be
think
40
she's like shorter
this year.
than you. What's her height? Because I noticed that.
1.47 meters. 1.47 meters in feet is
5 feet.
Oh god damn, don't lie.
5'1", 5 foot.
4'8".
That's tiny.
They're 100 feet away. I heard she uploaded another
Italian gonna be short. Ain't too many women are 4 feet tall.
video that's behind a paywall, which I haven't seen yet, on her Patreon. The picture that she's painting was not reality.
Whatever, right? And this man looks at me, I swear to fucking God, through the mask, I don't know what he looks like. And he looks at me and he says, "This is my dream, having you chained up."
No.
This is my dream, having you chained up.
So I would scream
and
out
then
loud.
he goes, "Perfect." And I'm so, and then I just look at him and I mean, again, arms, I'm chained up. I'm in a
Again,
fucking
she's not chained up.
kitten heel. I'm fucking.
Oh, she is lying. She's absolutely lying. Is she lying? Agent!
Tana is, yes, she's exaggerating in this.
Okay.
Livid. I turned to him and I go, "What the fuck did you just say?" And he looks at me and he goes, "Nothing. Like it was better you didn't hear it anyway." And I'm like, "Bitch, I heard you."
Her voice got all raspy and shit. Bitch, I heard you. He smoked like 1,000 cigarettes a day.
I heard you. I'm in this meat freezer. And this man, whatever.
No freezer.
And then he's just like laughing and imagine.
Well, no meat.
So basically what we're seeing here is two fucking YouTube cunts trying to get each other by saying she's like saying she was sexually harassed and bitching about it, and then Rosanna's defending herself to some extent.
Very old, unoperational,
I guess, yeah, no
previously
cold air, no cold
used
air.
freezer, and now is a studio.
So up to this point, Tana has basically exaggerated or lied about
Most everything.
And this is, I think this is the worst of the
So
situation.
Rosanna's a liar? I don't know, man.
And where she says,
who cares?
He said something
weird-
inappropriate to her.
Yeah, inappropriate to her. We weren't there for that.
No.
I believe she probably was in that room with just that guy, so the only other person.
The way I see it is Rosanna's defending herself. Like, first of all, especially in their fucking ridiculous world, nobody can crack it. Like, all right, like if me and Jeannie were doing a bit, right, and we had a set or something, and I said get chained up, and I made a crack, like this is where I always wanted you, and I said it just like that, like really over the top. Jeannie would probably laugh. And that would be the end of it, and we'd probably both forget about it. But in their world, there's lots of money on the market. So if somebody got pissed off, then Jeannie would turn that into, I was really uncomfortable. I can't believe he said that, blah, blah, blah. That's what I think we're dealing with here. And then I think Rosanna's kind of defending herself. This is the vibe I'm getting. Defending herself, that it's nothing, that wasn't really said, and she wasn't really chained, or there was no situation where she couldn't walk away. That's what I'm seeing.
And who would know is that guy.
So just
and
to add
obviously,
a little bit.
What?
I think most of it is just looking at the interactions between Tana and this one guy.
Yeah.
She as she was saying, like, she got really bad vibes from this person. This is the one who said, like, "Oh, I like you chained up," or whatever.
Yeah.
That kind of bullshit. And then the same actor sprained her finger.
It sounds like she had a bad time. She missed out on some money, and then she's trying to get him back.
If he's saying weird stuff.
That's not okay.
Yeah, of course that's not okay.
That's what I told her on set. She told me that the actor, this is quote, said something weird to her.
Yeah.
And I told her that's not cool. And I supported her. And I told her that she should go tell Joey because he'll put a stop to it. I don't know when she told Joey, but all she told Joey, he didn't have a lot of information to go on here because all she told
him
Joey
the same thing.
is that the actor said something weird to her. And he said, well, I don't ever want you to feel uncomfortable like on set. So we'll just, I think she had a couple more scenes, but he cut them and filmed separately. And they were like going to fix it in post. And
she didn't say what weird meant. There was no actual details. And so Joey just saw that she was uncomfortable and so separated them.
And I asked her the question, was he in character, like method acting, or was he himself? She claims that he was being himself. And I chose to believe her then, and it just makes it really hard to believe someone.
Why have entertainers become the least fun people on earth? Like nobody would ever want to hang out with. When I was a kid, I would be like, boy, wouldn't it be cool to hang out with Kurt Cobain or play guitar with Kurt Cobain? Or like I see these even like athletes, I like the WWE locker room. Like I've actually got to meet a lot of those guys back in the day, 20 years ago when I was in Iraq. and they were just nothing but fun. But like, you know, they're like now wrestlers. If somebody, I saw Dave Meltzer made a crack about somebody's weight. And all he said was like, I like her when she was a little thinner. I thought she was more attractive. And the entire WWE locker room takes to fucking Twitter because they need a virtue signal about it. And I'm thinking to myself, what a bunch of lame-os. I feel the same way about Hollywood. I feel the same way about YouTubers. These people just suck. They are no fun. None. They're all fucking boring. All right, what's in the next video? Oh, God. Is there anything else to see
it's
there?
her commenting on it.
Oh, geez, what happened to her? I like her when she had less weight, too. Oh, send me a fucking tweet.
She's pregnant right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
she's on her third kid, I think.
Well,
2 hours, 1 minute, 43 seconds.
Pregnant turns your lips to Botox. I saw it both my wives. All right.
2 hours, 1 minute, 43 seconds.
Let's go.
Squashed. So then I guess Rosanna, I guess it was her podcast. They weren't in the studio, but I guess they were doing a podcast. They had microphones and they were reacting. It was her and her long-term boyfriend, Mike. And I should preface this by saying, like, I really, really loved Rosanna. Like, we've gotten really close, I feel. And I don't have a lot of friends.
No such thing as women hate each other. There's no such thing as two women being friends. That's complete bullshit, and she knows it.
But she's someone where we know her parents, we know his parents, we know her siblings, her sister and their kids. Their kids are friends with our kids. Like we're those people who just go to each other's houses for parties. And
Kurt Cobain goes donated $5. I'd love to hang out with you too, Tommy, as long as you can keep your head.
Yeah, me too.
And we don't have a lot of those friends. So we have a party for our kids. They're there. They always come. We always come to theirs. And so I don't know. I just felt like we had like a deeper friendship. I would say a deeper friendship than even me and Tana or me and Joey. So I was like blindsided by this.
None of you people
the
are
first
friends.
clips I saw, and I could only watch the clips. I was going to watch the full podcast, and I just knew it would make me so upset. And so I was like, I can't. I'll watch the clips. And they're not taken out of context. They were very long clips. I could see enough of it from there. And it was... at first, I didn't see her talk about me. I saw her talking about Tana, and obviously, I'm friends with Tana, and I would say we're friendly. You know what I mean? Like we don't hang out outside of the podcast, but every time I see her, I love her, and she's been so great. And me and Tana have a podcast, so my initial reaction was to defend Tana as I would anybody in this situation. But basically, Rosanna.
Women, why do women do this? They have to fucking... And she hasn't even gotten to the statements that she told me about her relationship and the levels of the relationship and choose what's more important to her. Like, none of that fucking matters. What the fuck happened, you big fat cow?
Was calling out Tana for lying about her escape the night treatment. And it was a tough watch. It was a tough watch because...
I cannot stand American women. I can't. I am so far removed from this shit. Yes, European girls, except for the English, are a pain in the ass too. And some of the Irish girls. The Irish girls they're just hard to hold down. Whatever. That's a whole different story altogether. But, I mean, you don't see this from Swedish women. You don't see this from German women, Czech women, all the Eastern European women, Italian women. None of it. None of them go on like this. Yip. Get the fucking point? I mean, they all have their own kind of version of it, but it's never this. It's always American broads. They can never get to the fucking point. Ever. My God.
Am I an exception? Or no?
Yeah, obviously.
Yay!
But I probably wouldn't sleep with you either. How about that?
Yeah.
God. Jesus. You remember, what do they call that? What you call it, women? What do feminists always say what do you call that?
Trad women? What?
No, when you make them like a possession or
commodity.
Nah, well, they are.
Objectification.
You kind of objectify. Yeah, I objectify, girl. I think everybody does. Everybody objectifies the opposite sex. You know, but God, I don't like. My ex-wife ruined my fucking life. She is nowhere near as annoying as all the American broads I dated with all their fucking daddy issues. I'm sorry daddy didn't go to your dance recital. I didn't miss it. He did. Why is it my fault? That's what it's like dating an American woman. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. I'm not your dad. I'm just trying to get in your pants like every other fucking guy. Oh, we're going to turn that into a fucking... Let's turn that whole act into being something more important than it actually is. Objectified bimbo. Ugh. God, no wonder fucking Ethan threw this bitch off his podcast. I objectified men. I like them dumb. Smart.
She was artificially making the time longer.
Tana, obviously, there was something that happened that was inappropriate on the set. Everyone knew. Rosanna was like, she told us weird stuff happened that day on the set. She's like, yeah, Tana just came to us and said weird stuff happened. And Mike's like, we don't know what the weird stuff was, but she said weird stuff. So obviously there was something. Joey knew an issue. Rosanna herself says Joey addressed it on set and that was it. It was, an error, but he fixed it. Just giving so much grace to this production of Escape the Night. And really so much victim shaming on Tana's, on Rosanna's part to Tana and Mike's too. They admit that they weren't down there when anything was happening. They admit that she was alone with this guy down there. And yet they still were just saying how much she was a liar. They just kept calling her a liar.
The German women don't talk like this. They don't. You know what they talk about? They talk about work. The German, here's a conversation with the German. Go, well, I just bought my new apartment and we're planning on doing this. And I have plans. And I hope I can make this so I can go on holiday and go skiing in the Alps and blah, blah, blah. That's what they talk about. And then here's the best part. They'll be like, they'll tell you all that shit. Hey, can you get me a beer? Yeah, Hilda, here's a fucking beer. Let's go. That's what it's like talking to a German woman. Not all that fucking extraneous horse shit. And you English girls, you're not much fucking better. Amy Winehouse wrote a song about you. It's called Fuck Me Pumps, and it's dead on. You aren't not that much better. But you're better than the Americans. Look at it that way. Oh, have you met German ghetto women? There's no such thing. They're white.
There were dice.
Have you ever the ghetto women? They do, yeah. I don't like most of the white trash in Germany lives in the villages. They're not usually in the city. So no, maybe they do. I never met a German girl that did that. Yeah, but I never met a Swedish girl that did like. I never met a Danish girl that was like that. I never met any Eastern European girls. They're tough. They remind me more like Puerto Ricans. I'll coach you.
Dissecting her story when she's on her podcast, which is for entertainment, and it's her story to tell, so it's her right to tell it however she wants to. If she wants to add it was 50 feet away or 100 feet away, like whatever details, she can tell it the way she wants to. It's her story to tell.
I don't even think she was meaning to do
but
it.
What I'm saying is like they dissected her story as if that was...
It's Hilla's brother, right? Hilla's...
No, I've only... it's Trisha's husband.
Yeah, but isn't that Hilla's...
Which is Hilla's brother.
Hilla's brother, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In court, evidence, like, oh no, it was... She said it was 50 feet, then she said 100 feet, so she's a liar. I'm like, that's not the point of her story. And if she wants to exaggerate, change it a little bit, maybe she doesn't remember at the moment, because also when trauma happens, you don't remember everything.
And I couldn't tell you the difference between 50 feet or 100 feet. I don't know how far away you are from me now.
But the thing is, so they dissected everything.
Because you're stupid.
Up to the moment that the thing happened.
I don't know if you're a mile or 7 centimeters away.
And they said, we weren't there.
Yeah.
We didn't see what happened. And then they dissected everything that happened after. I'm like, that's...
Imagine having a podcast and not having the ability to complete a fucking story.
That is the main thing.
Yeah.
That is the story.
She was alone with a man that made her uncomfortable, that verbally assaulted her, that verbally told her inappropriate things, and nobody else was in the room.
So
But they basically, they admitted that they weren't there, but so much of it was, oh, she was chained up. It's like, and the faces, the mocking, all of it made me so mad. I was so mad because Rosanna, to me, up to this point, has been nothing but like so sweet and kind and very like compassionate and empathetic, and just like giggling, making faces, saying, no, that didn't happen. They're like, that didn't happen. That's just a lie. And I was like, but you guys also said you weren't there. So like, how do you know?
That's a decent point, I suppose. But I still don't give a fuck. It's just like, it's like watching elephants fuck. It's kind of disgusting to think about, but when the Animal Planet's on, you gotta fucking watch it because Jesus Christ, that's two elephants fucking. That's an amazing thing. And that's what I'm gonna watch, and I'm gonna make you watch right now.
basically they were saying she could have put her arms down any minute, that she wasn't chained up, that wasn't a thing. And I was like, oh, it infuriated me so much. One, you're not there. You're just not there. You didn't see any of it. You admitted that yourself. You're not there. You're calling this person a liar based on the fact that
I don't care.
She's exaggerated in the past. 95% of her stories are exaggerated. As far as
It's
everyone
enough
knows,
to be alone in the room with the person. That's enough.
Tana, you know what? People have always said this about her stories. Her story times are true. They're always true. If you exaggerate something, if you don't remember, I won't even call it exaggerating. I do this all the time when you don't know 50 feet to 100 feet, or they're like, there was a freezer, but it was a non-operating freezer in there. It's just like, there's no meat. Like you said, the dissecting of it, like you said, as if they were lawyers defending, like,
I don't know.
Just out there doing this defense made me so upset and just like attacking her character.
They defended it. I mean, she made a good point. They were just saying,
Hasan,
they were just saying, they were literally saying that that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. Like I didn't, but they weren't putting up any receipts. That doesn't mean that they're lying, but.
I mean, like, this is Tana. She exaggerates. She's what she do. It's hard to believe someone like this is so harmful and so damaging.
Here's what I believe. You have 3 cunts in the same area. All of them have money and want fame and power. And those personalities fucking clash. You imagine being hired. You imagine being fucking hired to be chained up and then bitch about getting chained up in like a horror movie-esque scene. You imagine that. You imagine, I guess you had to be there, but would it really shock any of you if that guy that said he wanted her in chains was just busting balls a little bit and didn't mean anything other than trying to make her laugh? I could believe that. We don't know if that's true, but I could believe Tana throwing a shit fit over it. And I also could see Tana throwing a shit fit over it. I could also see Tana throwing a shit fit over it if she knew the guy was joking. It was okay with it at the time. I could see it because she was pissed at Rosanna Pansino. And then you got this other one, Pansino, who's probably, this is saying something. Out of all the influence I've covered, and it's literally been hundreds on this channel for close to fucking 9 years now, right? There has been no weirder one that's successful. I've met some weirder ones in Discord or wannabe than Rosanna Pansino. She is absolutely bizarre. All the way from being like straight out of the Lollipop Guild up into smoking her friggin' dad, and then they're turning a goddamn game of hide and seek into an identity. A blown game of hide and seek. I mean, what's the odds of all these people just being horrible? In fact, this fatso's probably the least horrible because she's dopey. And there's nothing wrong with being stupid. And she's very good at it and made a wonderful career out of it. She's the least. But these are all fame hungry, money hungry, stupid, petty broads. And what? They're all, you put them all together and they start fucking fighting. That's what I think's happening here. I don't think there's any drama. Oh, shut up, Winter Gaming. Oh, Rosanna, who fucking cares? What are you, a woman? God damn.
All people. At
least I'm trying to make money on this bullshit. Why are you invested in it? Jesus Christ. Why don't you cut your eyeballs out? Oh, my God.
Who started this whole
I feel like cutting my eyeballs out.
Beast crusade because she was a victim of Mr. Beast, who her complaint about the Mr. Beast video she was in is that they edited her.
Now we're going to bring up the old shit on Pansino. Well, this is a backstab now. Here we go.
The wrong order.
This is you totally missed the point in this, Winter. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters that all these are a bunch of petty witches. That's what's funny about this. That's what's good about this. What would you expect, Winter Gaming? I'm coming out on the side of Rosanna Pansino. I don't fucking care. I just think these people are insufferable.
She got 3rd place. They edited her to look like she got 7th place. And she felt very victimized by that. She felt very wronged by that. And we all rallied behind her, because it does it sucks to feel treated unfairly. She talked about her time here on Scream Queens, where she said she felt uncomfortable in compromising positions. It happens. She knows firsthand it happens. And how many people criticized her for the Mr. Beast story. You know what I mean? Because in my opinion, I think that was wrong. I don't think it's as bad as someone being alone with you and making sexual comments about.
Imagine, I'm so glad I don't live in a world where I have to pretend that matters. and give a shit. And everybody's like, oh my God, you don't care if she felt uncomfortable. No! I don't! Suck it up! Don't act if it's too hard for you. And if you did do something wrong, turn him in and be done with it. Don't turn it into an identity.
About you while you're in a vulnerable position. I think that's two very
And
different
they're behind
things.
a mask.
They're behind a mask. It's documented to Rosanna. Tana said this happened. So Rosanna's there on set.
That guy, you know what I learned about this? He's the only thing I learned. That fucking Hiller's brother's a saint. He should be sainted. He should be brought to the Vatican and they should, I don't know, do whatever the fuck they do. Put a sword on both shoulders. I don't know. That guy's a saint. He's a wonderful, caring, loving man. And he should be rewarded for that. Because who could deal with this? Not only does he have to put up with this shit offline, he's got to do it for entertainment. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? If he went to his psychiatrist and said, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I want to throw her through a window, I would be okay with it. It's like, yeah, it's completely understandable. Just don't do it. Okay. No, I don't think I love her very much. But sometimes I would like to, I push her in front of train, you know. Oh my God. I don't think I would do it, but when she talks, all sight and sound leaves me, and I just hear this hum, 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 hum. And this hum, it very much hurts my ears. It's like when my sister calls me and goes, are you home? Are you okay with Trisha Paytas?
That knowing shows. Then the whole Pinky thing, mocking that, being like, we need to see those doctor records. We need to see the x-rays and make sure they're not doctored. It's like, who are you to be asking for medical information on anybody? Like, it's like, who are you to...
So 3 of these bitches can be fighting. Well, Rosanna Pansino lost.
Defending, and why are you defending? It felt very...
I know this is done, and I know I should just move on and take calls. I just can't look away. I can't look away. It's like when my parents, we were driving down 95, and we were going to the Baltimore Aquarium when I was a little kid, and my father says, "Don't look," and I did. I did exactly what Jim Morrison did in that Doors movie. I went to the back and I saw an arm in the middle of the road, and then I realized that's why they want me to look.
Very like almost like possessed. Like it felt very weird because I was like, is this for views? Is it for... Their biggest critique was, why are Joey and Tana talking about this on a podcast back and forth? Why are you inserting yourself on a podcast?
Why are you inserting yourself? Why not?
I mean, just wants her to get to the point.
When you weren't even involved. Totally.
I don't know what I want. I don't know. I want her to get like swatted. I don't know.
This person's character when all you do is try to defend victims of Mr. Beast. How can you be a voice for?
All right, let me change it. I don't want her to get swatted because I just want to see it. You know what I mean? Like if we could AI a swatting, I'd be okay because that'd be funny to me. I don't want her to get swatted like somebody call in, but it'd be kind of hysterical if it happened now. You know what I mean? I disavow
victims. But then when it's Tana, just completely, I mean,
don't call. I would it be funny in the middle of the thing, all of a sudden, like FBI, open up. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Long. The clips I saw were long. I don't know how long the podcast.
Oh, who gives a fuck what Dickers does?
They listen to her for 5 seconds and then just turn away and go, no, this can't be right.
Dickers should worry more about having actually a relationship with a woman that he can fucking handle than he should worry about me saying FBI, open up.
Was just constant berating, mocking, laughing, saying something didn't happen when you're not there.
And also, she never, ever said who that person was.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Well, he is really good at telling her what she wants to hear.
Defending. Like it's not like she went after his livelihood, after his life.
Nothing.
She didn't do any of that. Like she literally took it. She said it to the production. She said it to Joey. After that, she told the story. Joey told the story. They apologized. Yes, they had back and forward. Because I'm saying, okay, who are they defending? Joey? Okay, so even in there, Joey said he apologized.
Yeah,
he's sorry.
Joey apologized, didn't know.
If anything, again, the conversation was about a show that's going to air and going to happen.
Calling Tana unprofessional. Oh,
Tommy sees SFTP and its neighboring conglomerates does not share the sentiment and thoughts and ideas of what that guy said.
Tana can be unprofessional, but no one else can. When has Tana been unprofessional? She showed up. And then, yeah, defending and being with Joey, being like, oh, Tana only thinks about herself. Like, what about Joey's feelings? Joey wasn't the victim. Joey isn't the one chained up in a vulnerable situation. No one was allowed down there. Tana told us a story that Paige wasn't allowed down there filming. She's alone with this guy. Everyone's saying she's alone with this guy. Mike is like, yeah, she was alone with the guy. Everyone's saying this. You know, it's everyone saying no one was allowed down there. Tana told us a story that Paige wasn't allowed down there filming. She's alone with this guy. Everyone's saying she's alone with this guy. Mike is like, yeah, she was alone with the guy.
What did I do?
You know,
I see the camera on him when he's going on like this.
Like, she had nothing to gain. She wasn't going for this guy's livelihood, anything. Mocking her, saying that she did like a favor for Joey. All of it just was. It's like no one else's feelings need to be taken.
Here's another thing I want to see. I want to see him jump over the fucking counter and like that black guy did with that judge and just start choking her. Are you for domestic violence? If it's entertaining, yeah. There you go. Oh no, what happened? Did we lose her? No.
In consideration, Tana was the victim, not Joey. Why is she like Tana's making this all about herself? It's because it happened to Tana. And then afterwards, Tana felt some type of way about no one taking like her seriously about the injury. And now Rosanna's questioning if she hurt her pinky. Well, we need to see those x-rays. We need to see if they were doctored. Like, what? Who are you investigating and why? It's none of your business.
Is it okay if Tana said, if Rosanna said, you know, it's a pinky, get over it, you fucking diva?
And it made me so upset. And then using her past or her reputation, Tana, being like, well, she exaggerates 95% of the time. So you're judging someone based on like a past thing, which is like not even true, by the way. Tana's story times have held up. But I just thought so rich of like to judge someone based on, well, Tana's.
Well, I don't know what she said.
She's a liar. It's hard to trust those people. Rosanna, you were friends with Colleen for 10 years.
Oh.
By that same logic, should I be
Who's Colleen?
Colleen, the girl who Miranda sings type thing. She did the ukulele apology.
Ballinger.
Oh my God,
Colleen
she's in full scale war mode. I don't know if she realizes it. That's funny. Yeah, she's the one that sent the. So she sent a panties to a kid that was like 15 or 16, and then he grew up to be a gay man and exposed her like fucking 10 years later.
Judging you that you didn't engage in the same behavior Colleen did? How are you friends with someone and that close for so long, but you're
not know she's not a pedophile?
It's crazy to say, but that's the same logic using for Tana. Oh, because she was like this, we're gonna be. Oh, she might be a liar.
What logic are you talking about?
Because she's exaggerated. Well, you're friends with Colleen, so are you engaging in that same behavior? Were you also like? Should I have a hard time believing that you also weren't participating in the stuff Colleen was like? It's so crazy and asinine to think that, and so, it just made me so.
You didn't even know what she's talking about.
Mad because of all people, who are you judging? One, a victim, two, someone who like confided in you.
Victim or what?
On the set, so you know something happened. Well, she didn't say what kind of weird stuff happened. Weird, and Tana was being.
And that's it. Like maybe Tana's looking for a fucking payday for all I know. I don't blame Rosanna on that. Something weird happened to me. Oh, talk to so-and-so. I mean, what else is she supposed to do? Everybody's supposed to get around and fucking pull out a goddamn violin for her? How much you want to bet the only reason Tana's doing this is because something else happened with Rosanna? And she's trying to turn her into fucking Mr. Beast. Like Rosanna tried to turn Mr. Beast into some kind of monster. And Tana Mojo is doing the same fucking thing to Rosanna Pansino, which is actually, now that I think about it, kind of cool. Everybody seems to get there. Everybody gets theirs. Either gets there. Anybody hang. All you guys, they all lay with dogs. They all get fleas, and it's fucking funny. It's fucking funny. God. Yeah. Like, I mean, how many times have you seen this in our community? You know, everybody ignores like the bad qualities and then only brings it up when there's an exposed video to be made.
Probably just trying to get through the day. I think
somebody sent me a fucking thing on Bobax earlier today. Was yesterday? I was a little surprised to see it. I guess somebody went back. I guess because Bobax is easy to hate. But I'm not. This is not me directing any hate towards Bobax this way. All right, I just want to point out something. And in fairness, okay, so Bobax admitted he had a CP folder. Well, not really. Good Lord Bobax, we know why there's a baby bottle emoji. Okay, yeah, I guess. Whatever. He's trying to... Okay, so, but this did remind me of something. This is the whole open folders thing. It should have been open and closed for Bobax then. That's it. But everybody thought it was fucking cute. I mean, that's like... And then what happened when Bobax started screwing up, and then they bring this shit up again? Nobody cared when I covered it. And I stopped, including me, after a while. Well, you got to have some friends. All my friends are like, oh, he's all right.
Then
Until he wasn't.
Got brought into it, and all of a sudden, I think Rosanna then attacking me kind of made me feel some type of way because she twisted things that I said, which I was really upset about because I think Rosanna and I, like I said, privately, we're closer than we are publicly in the sense that she does share personal stuff with me and I share personal stuff with her, and we've gone to each other's houses. We know each other's families. So
not anymore.
And every time she's been brought up on this show, even if she says kooky things, I do try to see Rosanna's defense because I know her as a person. I'm like, or I thought I did.
You just threw her straight under the fucking bus. Don't act like you didn't.
This person has a pretty good heart. So for her then to watch the clip and take not even out of context, to twist it about, we were talking about Rosanna's first podcast episode was like, I smoked my dad. An outrageous
smoking my dad, ridiculous
title, which she knows it's outrageous. You know what I mean? And so when I was talking about the text, I was like, yeah, I mean, because we were talking about her whole thing. She went on a whole thing about smoking.
It'd be great if you start quoting Dioria. That'd be fantastic.
Her dad, like
Dioria said about her. Yeah.
She planted her dad's ashes, and it's a beautiful thing. I was always supportive of it.
No, it isn't. It's fucking weird. You're just gone from saying, like, even when she says kooky things to talking about smoking her dad, which is objectively weird, to saying that trying to pretend that like that's normal. I mean, oh man.
But to turn it around
and that poor Israeli man's got to listen to this shit 24 fucking 7. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what that's like? Who did he piss off in a past life? Do we have any Hindus in the audience? They want to come in here and explain what the fuck it is that man did to deserve what he's getting now.
And say that I was like,
he clearly was not a cow in his past life.
Fun of someone who lost their dad.
I'm serious. If you're Hindu, call in right now.
Leukemia. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. The most insulting thing I've ever heard, because in all my trolling years, all the crazy I've said and done, I've never once mocked or laughed at anyone losing their parent, especially Rosanna, who's like a friend of mine who I know well. Like it was just such an outrageous title. And I was like, yeah, she even texted me that title, but to her, it just hurt me so bad. It hurt me.
I love how she's trying to throw Rosanna on the bus and seem like she's her friend at the same time. It's so phony. And I can imagine a bunch of stupid fucking boys just nodding away, not realizing she's talking in circles.
So bad because that was so taken out of context. And then the other
don't feel bad for him. You saw Trisha's come up. Yeah, probably.
Thing to make it seem like I'm above people because I said I was scared to go, or that I don't go to downtown LA. That's a hard rule that I've always had. And to Rosanna flip
what the fuck's that got to do with anything? She just meanders forever. It's fucking hysterical.
It'd be like, oh, there's
she's talking about Rosanna. It's like, I don't go to downtown LA. That's hysterical. Hysterical. Oh my God. What a scatterbrained broad.
So above it to not go to LA. Like, I don't like that she won't drive to a certain location. Well, Rosanna, I had a really traumatic sexual assault experience down in downtown LA from the ages of 18 to 21. I've had
Did Rosanna fucking call you out for that? Oh my God.
Sexual assault experience that's happened in downtown LA. The violent crime has risen down there. That's why it's me feeling unsafe. And you
might catch fire.
Have felt unsafe in the Mr. Beast thing. Tana felt unsafe. Like, people feel unsafe, and it's okay. It has nothing to do. There was nothing I said about the people of downtown LA, the location of downtown LA. It's what I've experienced. It's the violent crime rising that's happened down there.
Thank
and
God
I just
for
said
Trump.
that I just won't shoot down there. And that was part of Tana's story. But to use that as like a discredit against Tana for me being uncomfortable going downtown Los Angeles, that was not her story, and just trying to assassinate my character for
I went as long as I could go. That was amazing. All right, any calls? I got AIDS now. You're welcome. My cat scratched my head. Deal with it.
You've got AIDS now. Rabies.
I got cat AIDS now. Isn't that how they get AIDS? They have cat AIDS? They scratch each other? I got cat AIDS.
Yeah.
As long as it's not gay turbo AIDS.
I survived cat AIDS. And I don't really appreciate it. I'm a victim. My God. I love that. I don't even dislike her all that much, and I think that's funny. I know you can't see it, but the noise is enough for me. I have TARD syndrome now. Well. I can watch her more often. She's fucking awfully entertaining. You can't really take your eyes off her. I mean, I watch her like if I was walking down the street and all of a sudden like a squirrel started talking to me, I'd just be like, that's why when I'm watching her. Like, wow, look at her go. My God. Toadstar. I can't. Toadster, you're on the air. What's up? What's on your mind? Whatever. I can't see that far. Hey, what's on your mind? Open phones.
Gosh. So I said it in chat, but like people that like claim like, oh, your sons and kids will get autism from like vaccinations and all that shit. Denims will legit give you that shit.
Denims? Why do you say that?
I've never never heard more of a dumb, just mouth breathing retard.
I like when she gets proven wrong in the same stream. That's fucking funny. That's really funny. Yeah, she's pretty dopey. It's tough to get mad at her though. I think she's just an extremist. She probably grew up with all that anti-Semitism in her house, and this is just the way it's coming out.
It's not even anger. It's just like, my mind.
No, it's the way she was probably raised. Let me tell you something. My grandfather, on my mother's side, was Jews were responsible for fucking everything, and my biological mother was pretty much regurgitated that shit. I watched it over and over again. Yeah, Jews did this and Jews did that. Jews. So I think that's probably what she grew up with, and you know what? My mother sounded like an idiot, and so does she. Like, oh my God. So, anything else?
No, I just needed to come in there to say that, and also shout out Dumpy.
Yeah, Dumpy tried to talk to me. He asked me
that clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and that ball's
by the way, I played 2K5 for the first time today.
How'd it go?
I don't know if it's good or not, but it looks interesting. I can't figure out the chain wrestling thing. I got to learn how to do that.
Oh yeah, they decided back this year. I can't buy it. I bought
24,
23, 22. My hours went down like every year. It's just I can't.
The chain wrestling is interesting though, because it kind of looks like a real match, and it's kind of the mini games I like. The kick out system's awesome, right?
Oh, yeah.
I did a kick out when there was just like a line there, and I was like so proud. It really felt like I kicked out at the last minute. They really, I don't know, the game itself, all the other extras, and they try to bleed for as much money as possible. It's horseshit, but I gotta be honest, it's pretty fucking cool, you know.
I just like doing the matches. Like whenever I played it, all the modes are like broken for me. Like especially the universe.
Well, I got
like doing the matches.
I got the
and having,
PC
like,
version, and I can't do island mode.
Oh yeah, it's not even on there. Yeah, it's horseshit. They made it so it's only on like next gen consoles only.
Yeah, why would they do that? I don't know. I
don't know.
really
They do the same shit on with all the other games on PC, like the NBA shit. They don't even have, They don't even have MLB. I wanted to play MLB. They don't even have that on PC. Like, what the fuck? You have to pay for a console.
Probably because
same thing with the college game.
Probably because the sports games are all fixed. Sports games are probably all fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it too many times in NHL. Call it ice tilt. You know, some of the FIFA guys swear up and down the fucking thing's fixed. You know, the funny thing is, like, you get a quick 2 goals on somebody in FIFA, and the guy's fucking awful, and he keeps like losing the ball, and then the 80th and the 90th minute, he fucking just seems to get desperate, and then the ball finds its way in the net. I understand there's like a simulation element there, but I think what happens is it's sort of like the NBA Jam AI. when they see that you're a bad player, they start to give the other player more chances to score. With the NBA, it didn't really matter. I mean, because it just gave the other guy a little bit of a handicap. It's like, can you imagine this? Imagine really sucking at first-person shooters, and then your aim assist turns into aim bot because you're so bad.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's just fixed. You know, NBA, like the 2K one's probably the most legit, because it is a video game and wrestling's not like a real competition. So it's probably the most legit of all the games. You know,
Yeah.
Oh, good Brock Lesnar creation community that has this theme. Oh yeah, you can't do Brock Lesnar anymore. Ah, that sucks.
Yeah, he got fucking ostracized out of the whole thing.
Yeah, you'll never see Brock back in there ever. It sucks. You know, you can do. I noticed they had like Rock '98, they Rock 2000, and then Rock currently, and then they had different Steve Austins and stuff. It was pretty cool. They had Scott Steiner, which I want to do.
They have a fuckload of wrestlers that you can like unlock for the exhibition or like any other game mode behind the My Faction bullshit, and I don't even think you have to pay for it. You can just like do the mode.
Can you alter it? Like, can you put a mod on there to play Brock Lesnar?
Oh yeah. There's a pretty like good PC modding community, but I've never tried it out before, so it might be like a pain in the ass.
Let's see how good it looks first. Because I played Roddy Piper today, and he did not look like Roddy Piper. His nose was like longer than my arm. It looked ridiculous.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that model sucks.
My kid's getting into wrestling a little bit, but he's into all the like. I showed him a bunch of matches like Hogan, Andre the Giant, The Rock, Steve Austin, Triple H. I showed him like the good shit, right? The Hardy Boys, Bubba Ray W. It's like, so we watched some like newer stuff too, and he's like, "Who are these nobodies?" Like, they're new guys. They're not even nobodies. You just haven't heard of them. I go, those matches are from like 25 years ago, and sometimes 30. I got the one Hogan match. I said it's coming up on 40. You know.
Oh yeah.
So they got several
I'm surprised.
Undertakers. They got several Undertakers.
I'm surprised he wasn't like infatuated by the Dudley and Hardy stuff, because when I was a kid, that was my shit. And
he likes the
Jeff Hardy's my favorite wrestler.
He's like, which one's Jeff? The one with the black hair? Because one I met in Iraq. I can't remember.
Jeff had the rainbow hair and like the armband shit.
Jeff, yeah, I met him in Iraq. I talked to him for about 30 minutes to smoke cigarettes with him. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool as fuck. Yeah. He seems like a cool ass dude. I want to meet him so bad, bro.
He was cool. I had a weird. I had a
Hardy.
weird interaction with him. And I felt so like this is. It didn't go side. He still wanted to hang out with me. So I have this history of like making celebrities uncomfortable. Not, I guess I'm autistic or something, but something with celebrities. So Jeff was back in, this was 2007, November. They were there to film.
So he just came back in 06.
Yes, he had just come back. So the last time I'd seen him, I was into wrestling a lot. I was just kind of, my NCO was trying to get me back into it. And I hadn't watched since like after 2001 and the invasion angle and then the NWO angle and how they just fucking ruined it. I started losing interest, and then I joined the Army and I forgot about it. And in between that time, Cena became the top guy. I met him too. That was a story. So he's smoking cigarettes outside, and he started bumming shit. And I opened up the conversation. I was like, dude, it's like, how can you smoke, right? And then JBL heard me say that, and he just goes, "Yeah," and he walked right by. like, yeah, he literally walked right by, and he's like, "I'm the only guy in the company that smokes." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He's like, "How do you do it?" He's like, "Well, you know, I still think I'm pretty good." I'm not saying you're not good. It's just, you know, I mean, I'm struggling. Like, whenever, like, I can't imagine like doing what you do and still being able to smoke. I mean, you gas so easy. I know. He goes, "Yeah, I probably really should quit," whatever. And then, and I should have realized this when he left the WWE, when he had gotten fired, he had just come back. He had put out a statement that he wanted to do something with his band, right? And that's why he left the WWE, which I should have known. And this is before the Sting incident, okay, in TNA.
Yeah.
He left because he was having drug problems. I wasn't.
Oh yeah, and he refused rehab.
I wasn't. Yeah, that's what it was. But he said that. So so here's what happened to me. I took his statement as gospel. I didn't hear all the other shit. So that was probably in like 2002 or 2003, right? So I completely didn't hear anything. I wasn't reading the dirt sheets or anything. And I said to him, I was like, so you left for your band? And I said this, I was not being an asshole. And thank God he didn't think this, right? I said, so you left, so where did you guys play? So I thought he had like a Jericho thing that he was building up. Where did you go play? Oh, and then he got really excited. He's like, well, we're playing here and we're doing karaoke here and karaoke there and karaoke. I did. I must have like, my eyebrows must have went karaoke. I thought you had a band. And then he stops, looks at me, right, and realizes I have a kind of confused look to my face. He takes a big drag of his cigarette. He goes, dude, I was really tired. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't mean like, in other words, I wasn't doing shit the last couple of years. And then I felt bad because I obviously stepped on something I shouldn't. But he didn't tell me to fuck off or he didn't do anything like that. He didn't do anything like that. But I really made him uncomfortable and I felt fucking terrible about it because then I told my NCO and he's like, you're an idiot. He got kicked out for drugs. He wouldn't take a drug test and he hasn't been doing shit with his fucking band. Right?
Yeah.
You know? But he had a good run and then drugs.
Oh, I love Jeff, dude. He is
that's
my.
Oh,
like,
he's
number
awesome.
one.
He's awesome.
He's my dude, bro.
I let Tommy watch the number 1 and 2 tables, ladders, and chairs match. You know,
Oh yeah, dude, you gotta show him
the third one.
You gotta show him some of that CM Punk stuff, bro. The stuff he did with Punk was really good in like 09.
Yeah. Well, he knows I like CM Punk. He knows he's one of my favorites. But Stone Cold used to Stone Cold sort of replaced Roddy Piper for me. But when Stone Cold did Roddy dirty before he died, I never forgave him.
What did he do before he died?
He did Roddy Piper so fucking dirty. Back in the Disney, before you were born, yes, it was. Will Sasso used to come to WWE and he would do his Stone Cold Steve Austin imitation. He did it on Mad TV when he was on. He's a comedian, and he did it on WWE. And then, Austin walked up to him, kicked him in the gut, did the Stone Cold Stunner thing, right? So Roddy thought it would be funny to have Will Sasso on. And he went into his Austin interview, and I listened to the fucking podcast. He didn't say anything offensive, not one motherfucking one offensive thing about Stone Cold. He just did the imitation. Stone Cold had that Broken Skull fucking Ranch podcast with WWE, and Roddy Piper at the time had his Legends contract where he still gets to get paid, do his podcast, and do whatever. And get paid, and he gets called in whenever he wants to get called in. Stone Cold got pissed off that Sasso was on Roddy's show. He cried to McMahon, and they pulled Roddy's Legends contract. Tore it up. The next podcast, Roddy comes out, and he swears up and down. He says, he tells people, yeah, it's true. I've lost my contract, and I just want to say to Steve that I never did anything to offend you. And I never wanted to offend you. And if I did, I'm really, really sorry. But I think it was all love and all this other stuff. I'm like, oh, God, this is really fucking awful. And then he died 3 days later.
Oh, my God.
Never forgave Austin for that. What was the fucking point? Sasso's made fun of you to your face. And it was all like wrestling shit. Like, it was like, yeah, I'm Stone Cold, I'm doing this. And he did that super perfect Will Sasso voice. And I just never, Stone Cold kind of replaced Roddy because Roddy was my guy because he was the first guy that was sort of a tweener and he was like wild and crazy and he was a really big bad guy that turned into an awesome good guy, right? And that was a Stone Cold. They're like, wow, Stone Cold's the greatest. And now I kind of replaced him with the Rock of that generation because I like Rock too, but I always like Stone Cold a little more. But I remember, I still like Stone Cold. I still like watching it, but I look at him so much differently now. What made you, what could have possibly happened on this podcast that offended you so much? He's making fun of your character. He's not even making fun of Steve Williams. It was so it really put a bad taste in my mouth, and it just made me realize, wait a minute. Austin's just like Hogan. It's just like Cena. It's just like all the other top guys. The only guy I never heard about, top guy never pulling some bullshit was Rock. I don't think he ever kept anybody down. And you never heard anything about The Rock being and we're talking like number one top guy. He never did anything. I never heard Mankind, but I don't think I'd put Mankind in like the Hogan, Flair, Cena, Rock Stone Cold era or level. That's we're talking like GOAT conversation, you know.
Right.
And didn't Will Wingfield bring up Austin's domestic violence with Deborah? Did he? I don't remember that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I think he did. I still, you know what? I'll stand by what I said, though. I'm not going to betray my former self. Yes, I think he did, but I don't. Oh, that's a good point. No, you might be right, JFA. Either way, I think it's lousy to fucking do. Like that's not you get rid of his Legends contract. That's like you call Roddy and say, if you next time you have Sasso on, could you not bring up my fucking shit the time I got arrested? I'd appreciate that. Thanks. You know?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it is a good point.
Dude, what do you think about the whole thing with him and Brock in 02 when he like walked out because they didn't have like a direction with him losing to Brock or something like that, and he like left the company?
I empathized with him a little bit there because I think what he did, they were pushing Brock too fast, and they did push him too fast, right? I was actually when the night Triple H came back, I saw a dark match that night. I was actually in Madison Square Garden that night.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like you,
That's
like
cool as
if you,
fuck.
they just panned a little bit more to the right when he was coming down. You could saw me. I had front row seats. And that night, Brock came out for a dark match with another guy. You know, they have a couple matches before the show starts, before the TV taping end starts, right? And as soon as Brock walked out, I remember me and my buddy Pete just were like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then another guy's like, "That's like the next big thing. He's like the real deal." Right? And it's funny because he called him because that's what they called. I think that's what he ended up being, the next big thing.
Yeah, that
like,
was his like tagline.
No, but that's what this
or
guy
his
is like.
name.
They're because they're expecting Austin's getting old and Rocky's going to movies. This guy's going to be their guy in the future, right? And then he came out, and then the match is give and take. It's not nothing that you would have saw Brock Lesnar doing before he was on TV because he just destroyed people, sort of like Goldberg did, right? And then he did that F5, right? And he did it a little bit different back then. He changed it. He turned it into a straight toss, but back then he would turn you and then sort of turn it into a quasi diamond cutter, but it's a fucking dangerous move, right? That was the original F5, right? And then he ended up just kind of tossing the guys because I think a few guys got hurt. And he's so fucking strong, you know? And then I was like, wow. And that was the night that Triple H came back, just when he walks in, you know?
Oh yeah. Fuck, dude. Yeah, no, Brock was crazy when he came in. Like you're right, he did have like a Goldberg.
They pushed him too fast, and it was to him. They wanted him to job. First of all, Austin was going to definitely have to put this guy over, right? But why on SmackDown? Why not in a pay-per-view? Why not build a match? There's money to be mailed here. And then he was pissed off about the NWO angle. He didn't want to fuck it. The original plan was to have the end. Austin lose to Scott Hall and the NWO to run in and beat the hell out of Rocky and have the NWO standing over and then collect a couple more members and then run that angle another 6 months to a year to see how it went. But then they just like Rocky went back and said, "I'm not losing a Hall. I've held up this fucking company. These guys almost put you out of fucking business. And now you want me to job to them? Get the fuck out of here." Right? Okay, fine. And then that logic made them change the final. I'm told. I mean, this is all rumors. That logic made them change the final to. And look, the Rocky Hogan match was great. I'm not going to say it wasn't, but there could have been more that done. Like once both those guys win, it's more Vince rubbing in the fact that WCW defeated them, which had been firmly established by that point. And then you fast forward to 2014 or whenever it was, and they finally get Sting.
Oh my god!
They finally get Sting, and they bury him too.
Oh yeah,
like
that was so
one WCW
unnecessary.
guy could ever get a fucking get a break. They buried Scott Steiner. They buried
the only guy
Booker.
was like the only guy was Booker T and Booker
but he
T and
what
Booker
did
T
they do with
got
Booker
buried
T?
too.
What did they do with Booker T? They had
they fucked him over.
They
at
had
Triple
Stone
H.
Cold completely beat him up. They put him in a fucking stupid ass angle with Goldust, which was funny. They put it, but he was just Booker's a trooper, so he just like tolerated it. You know what I mean? Like buried DDP. They buried DDP. Yeah, they had to bury every WCW guy, even if it cost them money. They had to bury him, And here's another thing about that stupid stalker angle with DDP. When DDP took off his mask, because Kevin Nash says this, when NWO showed up in WWE, they started like cheering Hogan over The Rock, right? When DDP pulled off his mask, go look back. It's right on YouTube. The audience popped. And I don't think Vince is ready for that shit. Because he didn't realize that, like, he always looked at them as they're, doing wrestling and stuff like that. Those guys are really over in the wrestling world. And that's what he never fucking understood, that they were over. It wasn't a fluke, right? The only guy they tried to push, but the problem with Goldberg. Right? Yeah, Mysterio they did push well. Goldberg they tried to push, but Goldberg didn't understand the business all that well,
No, he was in and out in what, like less than a year, because he came in 2003 and then left at WrestleMania.
It didn't work. Nothing
Him and Brock
worked.
left at the same time.
Nothing worked. In fairness, too, they refused to get his original theme music, which was fucking stupid. Made it weird when he came out. They didn't understand Goldberg, and Goldberg didn't understand the business. That's why it didn't work. Although they did get a good job with him and Brock a couple years back.
Oh, I love that shit.
That's a great match. That's a great match. And even the match where Goldberg comes back and loses, it's a pretty good one. And it's about as best Goldberg can give you, because he can't give you that long.
You're talking about the WrestleMania one, right?
WrestleMania, the one that Rock gets it. And Brock, that was all about Brock. Brock was all about getting picked. No, have him destroy me. Because we're going to make more money down the line. And that was awesome. I liked Goldberg a lot. But the thing is, when I really liked Goldberg, I didn't understand wrestling at all. I didn't realize with the Ultimate Warrior is they did things to make him look better, because he was terrible in the ring and blew up easy.
Yeah. You heard about him and Regal, right? Like, Regal fucking exposed him.
I've seen the match.
Yeah.
I don't think Regal exposed him. I think they told him to give him a match, right? Well, exposed seems like he's hiding something. They're not hiding anything. It's part of the show. I think there was a miscommunication out there. Regal stretched him out a little bit, and I don't think these guys see all the nuances and stuff. I don't think most of the fans didn't see that. I think they saw Regal get fucking jackhammered and speared, and he won the match.
Yep.
Here's another one. It's like here's another time it didn't happen. Go look up, and I watched it last night. Perry Saturn versus Goldberg at the NWO WCW pay-per-view when he's the Intercontinental Champ. Perry Saturn beat the shit out of him. It's a fucking great match. That is probably the best match Goldberg had, period, is Perry Saturn and a Goldberg, right? And they told him, and I think this is after the Regal thing, I want to say, they told him to go make Goldberg work for it, and they did. Apparently, ended up having to call the he blew up backstage, and they had to go take him to the emergency room, Regal didn't expose Goldberg. The only thing that came out of that match is Goldberg ended up making more money than Regal ever did. Now, he did expose him in this. He wasn't ready for that, but that's not kind of, they were building an Ultimate Warrior. The problem is Goldberg believed his own bullshit.
I think recently he's kind of had like a more humble
me too. And I think when his kids started finding his wrestling shit and started looking, oh my God, you're a wrestling god, and he was a wrestling god. There's no doubt about it. Right. And then he realized probably 20 years of criticism, and he looked back and he says, I probably could have done this and that a little better, and he did. I think he cooperated, and I think Brock was being really generous, and I think they all made more money. I love those matches. And I love Goldberg. It's too bad that he wasn't into wrestling growing up,
Yeah.
Because he didn't see it. He just figured, I'm an actor in this play, and it's a little, there's some truth in that, but there's a little more to it than that. And you also got to respect the fact that, you have this beautiful body, you have these athletic gifts, and you have this connection with the fans to the Atlanta Falcons. And these guys really broke their fucking backs to get where they were. And I don't think he understood that, because it was all fake to him, And I think, after going in and out, doing a trip with WWE, look back and says, those guys were all right about a lot of things,
Oh, yeah.
I could have handled it better. But he was doing NFL culture and trying to apply that to wrestling, and it didn't work. That's pretty much what happened there. And wrestling talk. But yeah, I picked up the game today, and it was fun.
Are you still keeping up with the current shit? I watch it here.
I thought the same. My son said the same. Said what I was thinking. Who are these nobodies? There's so much wrestling content on YouTube. You could literally be like entertained for days. You know.
Oh yeah.
I found a match. Me and Matt used to be a real wrestling fan. I found a match with who's a guy from New Jersey? They said he was Italian. I guess he wasn't. Well, he got fired for rape, and he didn't do it.
What?
What was his
Is
name?
it the Enzo Amore?
Enzo Amore. Yeah. I saw an independent match with him and somebody else. It was the best match I saw that year. I think it was in 2020. And I think there was nothing in there that I like. It was missing everything that any even. What's the other one? AWA now? Or what's the new one? Yeah, EVP.
AEW.
Like it was it was just a regular. He's just picking up an extra chat, and these guys were just going. It was a lot more entertaining, and he was a really entertaining guy, but he was just impossible to deal with in the locker room. When you go in there, I've been watching a lot of Maven lately, and
it's so good.
There is Maven's like if me and you got in there. I mean that's why people are. I notice all these other wrestling podcasters are all sorts of pissed off. All these wrestling podcasters are all sorts of pissed off at that's what I was just on a wrestling channel. All these guys are like all types of super pissed off at Maven because he is a YouTuber to the bone, and they don't realize why he's been so successful so quick because he checks all the YouTube boxes, and the fact from being from Tough Enough, being honest about it, that he didn't, and people just see themselves in his shoes. Maven was always a guy that people liked because they could see themselves as Maven. I keep telling you, Tom.
Yeah, he just tells them how it is.
Wrestling. I can't watch Lynn. I can't even watch. Go compete with. Yeah, quit this shit. And go compete with Cronin. That'd be funny. When I make him.
Well, dude,
if
I
got 100,000 subs stream and Cronin on wrestling, Cronin would jump in the Boston Harbor.
I made a wrestling channel in 2023. I can't justify working on it that much just because I have to build it up.
I'll be able to justify. I wonder if once I get some time away from this, and I'll come up with something I'm interested in and really passionate about.
That's the thing. It's easy to make those videos though. When I make certain commentary videos, it feels like it's dragging on, and it's like, holy shit, I just want it to be over with. But whenever I was doing a wrestling video, it felt like it was going by. It was fun. I was having fun making content again. It was super cool. So I need to get back on that.
So what is Cronin doing these days? Has he hit 100K yet? Joe Cronin. That's where I started.
I know he's
live now. He's live.
Dude, I've never even heard about this guy until you told me about that, and I looked it up.
Yeah, I started with him.
He's been doing it forever. He's live right fucking now.
Yeah. I started with him. I met him. I actually flew out to Boston and what have you.
Did you meet JD from New York?
Yeah, I did. I did meet JD from New York. I
don't care. A lot of people shit on that guy, but I think his stuff's entertaining.
I think he's really good too. But I gotta be honest with you, when I don't really, he follows me. I don't really give a shit anymore. I did find him very strange, like a little bit of a shut in. Yeah. I talked to him, I did some. It should be a tip off for me. To be honest with you, he was really into baseball, and I'd start I grew up on the other side of the Hudson for him, and I started talking like that, and he's like, oh yeah, I forget where he's from, Manhattan or Brooklyn, I forget. And he's like, do you ever go? Oh no, I think he's from Brooklyn. Or no, he's from Queens. And I say, hey, do you ever go to? I go, you know what I miss about New York the most is I miss pizza at Ray's. And he says, oh, I've only been to Manhattan once. What? He said, no, I don't go to Manhattan. I'm like, how old are you? I was 30. I'm like, you didn't take the bus or the fucking train once? No, I was like, I rarely go. He had never been to New Jersey. I think he'd never been to New Jersey at that point in his life. It was very, very bizarre. Tommy C. Dead on Dave and Joe Cronin reunion should happen soon. It's been over 10 years. And since you guys said, no, that's never happening. I got news for you there. That's never happening. That's absolutely never happening.
Great fucking stream today, bro. I was fucking dying. Dude, the Trisha Paytas shit. Oh
yeah,
my
I
God.
can't wait to upload. It was fun.
That was fucking hilarious.
Going to New Jersey. Well, it comes out in in 2-3 days. I could do pretty much what I want now. But John Cena's promo. You know,
I was watched that today.
Imagine.
I
I guess he's going to show up on Raw tonight. I want to see his new gimmick. I'm interested.
It already happened, bro. They were in Europe, so they already aired it on Netflix.
What is he dress? What is Cena dressed like now?
He kept it the same. Honestly, you have to watch it for yourself.
Oh,
really? It
really?
was really good. He said, "I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing the theme song. I'm not changing the music. You guys get nothing." Because I think they did it on purpose. Because if he was to do all that,
He looks ridiculous in a baseball hat now because he looks older now.
Oh,
he does.
does.
He looks like he's in his 40s now. And he's actually, I think he's older than me. Let's see, how old's Sean? He looks ridiculous, though. He's losing his hair.
He's 47.
I mean, he looks
He's
great.
younger than you.
He's 47. He's 2 years younger than me, but he
Yeah.
looks
He turns
older
48
than
this
me.
year.
Well, I mean, I can honestly say, like 5 years ago, he looked younger than me, right? He don't look younger than me now. Like, I don't see my body. I mean, his body does. I mean, he still looks pretty good. I mean, he's still.
Screw you, Lynn.
My friends from
just
Brooklyn never
want
been to
Steve.
Manhattan. Most NYC dogs live in their boroughs, and they never like Vinny. Yeah, I've heard. I've heard about not having cars and stuff. I don't have a car here. I live in the city, right? But I don't. Why wouldn't you go? Like Manhattan is not a foreign place. It's so bizarre. So that was my experience. He was a bit of a shut-in. Not a bad person by any stretch. And I felt bad for him because he had to work for Corona for so long.
Well, dude, he broke out. He's getting like 3,500 viewers.
Oh God! I mean,
this
he's
guy's crushing it. Like,
well, he was dedicated to the craft. I knew that, but he just socially, it was a little autistic.
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like what
But
most
I
YouTubers.
don't really
I feel like
say
I'm
that-
pretty retarded. You know, it's like I feel like that's just what it is.
No,
right?
you're not. You have a fucking girl.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, we never met in person. I mean, let's say we meet in person. I can't like. I'm not like I can make eye contact and shit like that. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
You
not
got
a
autism
fucking
too?
Freak, but I mean, I think a little bit. I mean,
No,
I think you
you
have to be a little retarded to do this shit.
I don't think you're fine.
Dude, dude,
We're
if
the only
you ask
normal
me,
people
dude,
I ever met. Don't
you
tell
could-
me that.
You could ask me like any question about like, oh, I remember this Leafy thing, this bit. And I could like name it like a fucking.
You were
retard,
into
like,
it at the time.
instantly,
You talk about the fucking wrestling in the '90s. I'd fucking be like that too. You know, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I was doing in the '90s? I was fucking had girlfriends, banging my brains out, getting drunk, having parties. You know, I was pretty normal back then. And there was a guy. I mean, he's in that band Flipside, my buddy's band, and they ended up opening up for Linkin Park. He knew about. He could call up stuff from the '70s and shit, like no problem. Bang, 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 bang. Like playing with those Kevin Bacon guys. Yeah, he killed it. No, he was like awesome. Yeah, it felt bizarre when I took my friends to Manhattan. They grew up in Brooklyn. My friend Seth would tell me it was because everything they needed was in their neighborhood. I think that's Vinny. I think that's weird. It's just not healthy. Like I live farther than you. I lived in Woodbridge. All right. Woodbridge is like almost directly connected to Staten Island. Not the Outer Bridge crossing. Yeah, the Outer Bridge. Right? When I was there all the time. I think it's so strange. I mean, admittedly, I have a car, but
yeah.
I mean, look, I don't go to mines very much, right? And I'm mostly in Wiesbaden because I don't have a car and I don't want one either, right? It's one of the reasons I save tons and tons of money, right? And, but I mean, at least 3-4 times a year I leave and do something or go to Spain or something. To be fair, New Jersey is a shithole. You're probably, shut up. Arizona. I'm from
I'm about to send
Arizona.
you this match, Tommy. This is from 5 days ago. Like Matt and Jeff, they're in TNA, but they're doing this partnership with NXT.
TNA still around?
So, oh yeah, dude. TNA's like they literally just partnered with NXT.
They're only
so
a
they're
year
doing, like,
younger than me.
crossover
You
shit
know
all the time.
that? I think one of them is my age. One of them's a year younger than me. 77 to 78.
But yeah, you gotta watch this match. It's like Matt and Jeff against the NXT tag. It's like the tag team champion versus tag team championship.
I didn't know
but
this was.
they don't miss a beat. They are on point.
They
There's not a
blocked it.
single botch the entire match. They're
Blocked in my
like,
country.
oh really? Oh, that's
Yeah, I
nice.
think I know what you call it. So I don't know.
There's a highlight on the official channel. I can send you that one too. But yeah, like they
And I don't want to. I don't.
it's
If
just
they're
such-
blocking,
it's
I
a
don't want
good
to play
shit.
it. I'll get fucking claimed. I want to make as much money as you.
Watch it later.
Yeah, just watch it like whenever you get the time though. It's a really.
I'll
good
watch it
fucking
with you
match.
right now. We'll just end the fucking show. How about that?
Yeah, bet.
What
Let's
do you
do it.
say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So we'll watch.
Let's fucking do it.
We'll watch some wrestling clips. What do I say?
I'm gonna go
Hey,
piss
you know what
real
you want
quick.
to do? You want to do? I bet we have an after wrestling show.
I'm
after
down.
show.
Yeah,
We'll
let's
go,
do that.
go
I
in there
have to
now.
piss real quick. I'm down.
Yeah,
I'm down to do it,
go
though.
in there now, and let me do Pats and get the fuck out of here. Because you're a guaranteed read if you a Pat. Believe that if you a Pat. All right, give me my shit. Audience. I really should start doing this earlier so I don't fucking have to go through this aggravation. You want to get out of here, get out of here. I know you need to go to bed. You have to stay up for me.
No, I should be. I have to iron some stuff, so.
Yeah, you sure do. My shirt. Get it back to me. Lickety split.
Yeah.
Old Bag Max and B, Billion Bones, Blue Jacket, Cody Grill, Final Flash, G-Man, Little Manly, Nesquick, Not Your Typical Mom, Panic
Yeah,
Punk,
Giggle.
Taylor D, Tommy C's Cat, Trippy Savage, Winter Gaming, Teeny, and Picklington. Yeah. And that's it. That's fucking it. Ah, man. Not Your Typical Mom for 18 months. That's like 2.5 years, for Christ's sake. So I'll watch wrestling clips with.
That's 1.5 years, Tommy. Learn your math.
Whatever. You're not good at math either. You're a girl.
No, but I was better at you with that.
Half the time I ask you a math question, you're like, duh!
Yeah.
Yeah, 90% of the time you're like frozen. Deer in headlights.
Yeah.
Bup, bup, bup.
I used to actually be really good at it, though, because both my parents are engineers. But then
you started believing in unicorns
high
or some
school hit.
shit or whatever it is you're into.
No.
Dracula and vampires
No.
and werewolves and horse shit.
The werewolves part, yes. Vampires, no.
You believe in
Vampires are
werewolves?
lame. No, I'm not
Yeah, you
retarded.
do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Did you have a conversation
No, I
with
can
one
tell
of your...
you a funny story,
Did you have a conversation with one of your fucking professors about werewolves? Did you not?
Yes, I did.
That's it,
Yes,
everybody.
but it's
Have a
about-
good one.
it's
She believes in
about sexual
werewolves.
stuff.
Good
Wait,
night.
wait,
Good night,
wait.
everyone.
Actually,
See-
no.